This was my whole fucking childhood and doing stupid shit like that. Okay. Right, that was my whole childhood.
What up? What up?
Hola. I'm
Mhm.
sorry.
Mhm.
Call me now.
Mhm.
And why we both wearing muumuus?
I know that's a poncho.
I look
Yeah,
like a muumuu to
I'm a
me.
luchador.
You're what?
Luchador.
How was that?
Wrestler. If that, I don't know. That's what they call it. Something like that.
You always educated.
Yeah, wrestler. I'm a Mexican wrestler.
Look at the comment.
Mexican wrestler. What the comment say? Nacho Libra, yes.
Yay!
Nacho Libra. Nacho Libra. That's what you call it. That's what you tuned into. Nacho Libra. Hmm.
Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
Or as Atlanta calls it, happy dating life. This is all
Mm.
about a trick
Yep. Trick and
and
treats.
treats. Yes.
Trick and treats. If
Yeah.
you're lucky, you're gonna get the treats before you get
Mm.
tricked.
And then that'll
Not the other way
happen.
around.
But it always happens though.
It's gonna happen.
Welcome to the A.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, all right, here's a thing. I don't have a story. I don't have anything.
I got a Halloween story.
Go for it.
All right. Ooh, let me set the movie.
Oh,
Damn, I don't have no light and dim the lights and nothing. I don't have
let's
no
just we'll
controls and
pretend.
shit. We gonna pretend it's
Ooh.
dim. All right. You remember the haunted house back in New Orleans? The house that you next door you hit the house with the car?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, you don't? Okay. Anyway, uh,
I didn't know
yeah,
it before. Now I
no,
definitely don't know it.
you do know. Yeah,
I
well,
don't know.
the
That
haunted
that was a
house.
haunted house.
Yes, ask your sister, your mama. Um,
Oh, oh,
yes,
okay,
the one
okay,
when they came and escaped the haunted house to come to
okay.
Florida by you.
Yes, yes,
Okay, all right.
okay. I believe him.
No,
But go ahead.
it is. You have to believe him because I saw the shit. I mean, well, I witnessed all of it. So I told a story before in public, and when I told in public at Melinda's Halloween party,
Okay.
one of the guys told me, "Was I having a stroke?" He said, "You sure you weren't having a stroke?" I'm like, "What? What? What? Huh? What?"
Your
So
experience is not real.
yes, not real. Your experience is not real. You know, it's easy to say that.
Disqualify.
It's easy to say that rather than
Just to believe
to
in something.
accept something that you don't believe in.
Hey Heidi, happy
Um,
Halloween.
hey, Hattie. So we used to stay at this house. It was 2 blocks away
Let
from
me tell the
two
story.
or
You put that
three.
after.
How was it?
Tell the story first.
Okay, 2 or 3 blocks from two cemeteries in New Orleans, right off of Canal Street, and everything was fine up until fall, maybe
Mm-hmm.
right around this time. No, actually it was November. Actually November, and leave out the house, go to the grocery store to go get some groceries, come back in, and when I left out the house, everything was off. The whole house was dark. Put my key in, put my key in the door, and I hear just loud like static. Right. So anybody that knows anything about TVs or TV
Back in the
watches or
80s,
whatever,
yeah.
yeah, that's how it used to be back in the day. Like when a channel, channel
They don't
three,
even do
channel
that
three.
anymore.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
Yeah.
That's my point. Back in the day, back in
Wait,
the
it
day,
works. Okay.
yeah,
Sorry, I was like, wait, is this
yeah, yeah. Back in the day, uh,
pew pew pew?
yeah, Canal Street, pew pew pew. You know what it is. Oh, let me put that up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they ain't gonna know. So back in the day, in the '80s, when the TV station would go off, it'd be like, the poltergeist. The girl sitting in front of the TV with the
And it's
fuzzy,
also important to
the
know
white
that this was
noise.
not in the
No,
80s
this was in
when
the
this
'80s.
happened.
This was in 97, 90. No,
No,
97.
I was married then, wasn't I?
Uh,
Because I got married shortly after you. So I was in Daytona.
uh,
This is like 2000.
no, because I moved here in 2000. I moved here in 2000. I wasn't there in 2000, so it was
Oh,
96.
okay. It's not,
It was
okay.
96.
I
It
was in
was
college then.
96.
Mhm.
So it was around 95, 96, and so like I said, white noise. So I'm like, okay, what the hell? So I'm like, okay. So we had cable. It's, when they have cable, if the TV comes on, it goes to the cable channel.
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay, making a joke.
Uh-huh.
My girlfriend at the time, she was like, don't don't make no jokes. I'm gonna leave you here at this house. You're gonna be here by yourself. And I'm like, come on now, it's just the ghost. The ghost is playing, and I'm making jokes, because that's what I do. I joke, I clown, I make fun of everything. So that's what it was. So
I mean, maybe the ghost will laugh and then be like, he all right with me.
yeah, he cool with me. Yeah, he ain't gonna mess with me. So anyway, it happened again. It happened again too.
You go. No, I'll tell you when to put up.
Okay.
Those are a part of the conversation.
Okay, cool. It happened again. Same thing. Go to the store, come back, put my key in the door. Like I don't hear nothing before I put my key in the door. Put the key in the door. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, hey, the ghosts just want us to know they want to watch TV. Turn the TV on something they want to watch or whatever. Stop playing with me. You need to stop playing with me because you're going to be in this house by yourself. So I'm like, all right, what you mad about? Ain't nothing floating around here, nothing throwing stuff at your head. You don't have to duck anything. It's cool.
Nothing killed the dog.
Yeah, nothing killed anything. No, she killed the dog. Anyway, yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, well, at least we left the ghost with company.
Oh no.
Yeah, he had a pet. Before we left. But anyway, it was got winter, maybe about December, maybe January, and it was kind of cold in the house. They only had heaters, like the wall heaters, in two parts of the house, one in the front room and the other in the bedroom. Well, that's all they had to the house. They just had a kitchen between. It was a small house. So we decided to sleep on the couch because it was like the heat in the front one works better. So we slept on the couch. It was a pull-out couch, the bed, and we had a little playtime, a little adult playtime. I'm messing with trying to get me some tussling, tussling. And I think I said something about we gonna give the ghost a show or some shit like that. And I'm tussling for us to say, stop playing with me, stop playing with me. All of a sudden, I'm like, what?
He said, I want a show.
Yeah,
I ain't seen it in a while.
Exactly, I ain't seen this shit in a while. So I'm like, what the hell? So I'm at this point, I'm thinking, okay, maybe the remote is, maybe
under the seat,
under the pillows or something like that. So I look for the remote. The remote is on by the TV. It's right there on the entertainment center by the TV. So I'm like, okay, what the? All right, it's a ghost. I'm like, okay, that's what it is. It is a ghost. Don't get all freaked out. Look, I don't like this shit. I don't like this shit. She go in the back room. She don't be in the front room anymore. So I tell my homeboys about it, and they laugh because they know I talk shit. I talk a lot of shit. Anybody that knows me know I talk a lot of shit. But some shit I don't joke about. Some shit it's funny to me, and I'm going, be whatever it is. I'm gonna be real about it. So they used to hit my spot before we go to the clubs because my house, my house is on Canal Street.
That was a perfect place to go hit for the spot.
So they come to my house, we drank drinks or whatever, and then we hit the club. So they come to my house, and we sitting on the couch in the front room and passing around the Heinekens. I get up, go get another beer, and I come back. And my homeboy Damon says, man, what about the ghost? You say there was ghosts or whatever. So I sit down, all of a sudden, it was like, quit playing. I'm like, dude, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. So we looking for the remote because he thought it was the couch. Once again, we looking for the remote. The remote is on the end table by him, right by him. He does this. He looks at me, takes a drink. You're like, it's time to go. Let's go. So we go. So they never spoke about that again. First of all, they never said anything after that. That was it.
Will that mean the ghost won't exist if y'all don't talk about it?
No, it still live because I spoke to it. I come in the house. Hey, what's up, bro? All right, nah, keep it moving. So the last interaction I had with the ghost, you have to ask your mom and your sister about their interactions. They told me about their interactions. Okay, so but I didn't. They never told me because Mama don't talk about that type of stuff. No,
Katrina does.
Oh, Katrina. Okay, cool. Because I never heard about it. But the last interaction I had, I was in the house playing PlayStation. I think I had my shirt off. That's what it was. I was playing PlayStation, I had my shirt off, and I'm in the front room in a chair, just like this, in front of the TV. And I'm bending over, playing video games. So I feel something do this across my arm.
Nope.
Cold, like something cold.
Nope.
I'm like, what? I'm like, no, ain't nothing leaking, nothing like that. I'm not under a vent. So I'm like, look, no man, no. I'm playing video games, whatever. You're gonna have to watch these video games. You could have the later, and I just kept moving. That was it. So that that was Casper to me. It was a friendly ghost. It just wanted to watch TV.
You almost got sexually assaulted.
Yeah, it probably did. It probably did when I was asleep. It probably touched on me or whatever, like in Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
probably was and was jealous when we was having a little playtime. Was jealous. That's what it was. When we was I was trying to get in.
And he's just like three-way.
Probably was a woman. Probably was a woman ghost.
Three-way. That's one
Probably
tag.
was a woman ghost.
Tag him in. No, and like I never. That's the thing that hit your house.
What?
That's
no,
the thing
that wasn't.
hit
No,
your house.
it didn't hit my house. It hit next door house, so it wasn't it. It was your ass. Whatever. It never hit my house. Yes, my spiritual body, my spiritual choice. That's what it was. I guess my spiritual choice was to go ahead on and let it have at it, because I don't remember anything hurting when I woke up. So I must have been loose in my sleep.
Relax. All right, so just to go back to some comments, Ray was asking about a show on TV. I don't watch Paranormal Activities, just because like I feel like Paranormal Activities are like the real ones. Like I don't know, I can only speak for old Southern Black people from New Orleans, right?
Skinwalker.
Like we don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
We really don't. Well, maybe it's like a mention or whatever, but we really don't talk about it. I honestly forget any of the.
It's like y'all block it out.
Oh, we got to. But I know I've been in certain situations. My thing is this though: when you deal with the only one time I do remember, because I think they're paranormal. I think there's energies that exist around us, and for the most part, they're just energies. Like if you ever watched The Good Place,
unresolved energies, just stuff.
No, I think they're just energies. Like one of the things they talked about at the end of The Good Place was what actually happens once we die, and heaven and hell, and what happens in that case, and whatever, which I think is a cool idea. But one of the things they talk about is how we return back to the energy that we came from. So if that's the case, I think
it's ancestral energy. Like this is my theory about death. Okay, right? We all have a certain amount of energy from our ancestors, right? Your family tree. Let's say your family lineage, right? Right? You have energy. So when a child is born, you know how you say when somebody died, a child is born? You ever heard that old saying? So think about, and you ever heard about when they say, okay, they remind me of such and such. They got this old spirit or whatever. That's what it's like. You tap, and the new child taps into the energy, whoever passed away, and that child is born from that same energy. It's just energy floating around. I can't remember what's the law. Energy is neither
transferred.
It's only transferred. It's neither destroyed or created. Yeah, it's only transferred. So I believe that could be a thing.
That's the point. Yeah. It's like create energy. So there's negative energy that exists, and I'm like the only time. This is the only Halloween story that I actually have that I remember, because I will purge a lot. Like fucking was I was in Orlando. I was living in Orlando, and I used to go to the rich people Goodwill. Because they had the good shit. Right, so I go to rich people Goodwill, and I always found something cute. Wasn't a big deal. One day I went to the rich people Goodwill, and I just had it was just like this heavy. Like I felt heavy. I felt this blinding headache. It just it went from 0 to the blinding headache, and I just couldn't whatever, and I couldn't hardly talk. I couldn't this. I was with my ex at the time, and my ex was like, "Ooh, all right, let's go." Yeah. I
heard it before. Yeah.
And then I got saged in my sleep because apparently I was you talking.
Wake
up. Rich people Goodwill is vintage.
Yeah, that's what it is. Rich people Goodwill equal vintage. Yes, thank you, Heidi. It is.
Yes,
that's what it is.
Vintage Goodwill.
Vintage Goodwill.
And I got saged in my sleep because apparently I was talking in my sleep and I was fighting something in my sleep that I didn't realize. And it's like, and Black people, oh no.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm dying.
Smoke inhalation.
I wake up and I'm like, but my headache's gone and like everything's gone. I was like, okay, well, whatever. Smoke me away. And then I was like, well, like me personally, like I'm not against paranormal, like I'm not against other things that exist beyond us or OBO or anything like that. I'm not against it. I don't disagree with it. I don't not believe in it, but I'm more likely to try to find a reason,
a physical reason, a logical reason.
And like I used to get migraines from smells. So I'm like, maybe I smelled something. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was something that was highly sensitive or whatever the case may be. So I was like, okay, fine. Went about my day. Went about my day. Time passed, maybe a month or so passed, and I was like, "Ugh, I need some. I want to go vintage
Mhm.
again." So I go
Mhm.
back to the rich people Goodwill. As soon as I walk in the door, headache.
Uh,
It's like, bitch, you back?
we thought we got rid of your
Yeah.
black ass.
And I was like, I came back to sage me,
He
like
got back on me.
like yes. But no, I asked to be sage, and I
Mm.
promise you, it went away. I was
Okay.
like, I don't know what that was, but uh, why you say other things make sense now?
Oh,
What?
the stuff about you,
What?
stuff about you makes sense.
Oh, bite me. How about that?
But a lot of people, from the islands, those island people, they
They believe in
closer
it.
to the ancestor type stuff. So they
They
know.
ain't watered
Yeah,
down.
yeah, exactly. They tapped into the ancestors a lot of times. So yeah,
Yeah,
he
I
was able
mean,
to
like,
get it up off you.
I look,
He served his
I am
purpose.
glad.
He served his purpose.
Because the first time I
Mm,
had it for hours, it wasn't even
mm,
like this blind. Like I was like, why don't this ghost like me? What is this
mm.
about this? He hating.
You could have
Oh,
been a white
hating
woman off
spirit.
Entity.
I've never watched
You never
Entity.
watched it?
Mm-mm.
So that's the only movie that kind of bothered me. Like I love scary movies. I love this time of year and everything, but the only
I
movie
gotta
that
look it up.
bothered me was The Entity. And if y'all don't know about it, Cliff Note version.
Okay.
White woman,
Mm-hmm.
ghost rapes her. Other little poltergeist something hold her down. And this is
What the
based
fuck?
on a true story.
You
That's
gonna
it.
take it and like it?
Yeah, you
What
go.
the fuck?
Yes, that's what happened.
Oh, me
Like
too,
she had
ass.
a boyfriend. The boyfriend saw an episode happening, and he tries to come in and grab her. Boom, push him across the room, and
Ain't he
at the end,
possessive?
yeah, the ghost didn't want.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
you
that's
can't
a
have this thing.
toxic ass
This wop is
relationship.
mine. Yeah, there's always white. Why is that? Well, white women. Anyway,
Heidi,
yeah, yeah. Can you?
watch your walk,
Yeah, watch out. They got ghosts
because
trying
they
to
got
get
a
it.
ghost trying to get in.
Yeah. So
And
it's called The Entity. It's based on a true story from back in Heidi said, yeah, Exorcist didn't freak me out like that, but The Entity, that was some wild stuff because it's based on a true story. At the very end, they gave the little, what happened to her, and it's like, yeah, she still get attacked to this day, but it's not as frequent. Like they
I
don't.
mean,
She moved and everything, right? They did in the movie. I
she
don't know if
said
this
she's
happened
still
for
gonna.
real.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
no,
it's not funny.
serious.
It's not funny, but it's kind of like
No,
you like. Can you not wake me up this time?
yeah, just go ahead and
Like,
take it while I'm
yeah, just
asleep. I
take
don't.
it.
Yeah, I
Um,
don't need to be up for this shit.
like it's like she called people. She called the church, and church is like, we believe in the Lord
No, they
Jesus
came did
Christ,
that.
and
They
they
came
did
back.
push her,
Yeah.
push her, and then it was like, oh no, didn't work.
Mm.
Well, fuck, we tried.
No, they actually did in the movie. They did a study on her. They had her in a little glass room or something that resembles like a house,
Took booty
and they
go.
was trying to see. And it just took it there, and they was reading all the energy, the ghostly energy and stuff.
Oh, so stupid.
Okay,
I'm not reading that.
not sure.
I'm not reading that. You're
Yeah,
gonna get me
it will be
fired.
if
You're
they
gonna
had
get me fired. How
the
about that?
ghosts of the ancestors.
That's
There
not gonna be
might
my
be.
trick. No, sir.
There might be.
No, nope. Loves my jobs. Loves my peoples.
But
Uh,
check that movie out, y'all. If y'all want to see a good movie for Halloween today, go
I
look up
don't.
The Entity.
I don't like scary stuff.
No?
No, I hate scary. Like, I mean, well, for one, it's not scary
Mhm.
the way I want it to be scary. And for two, what's scary to me ain't scary to other people. Like for me, scary things are like, you know what's scary to me? The shit I can't stop watching. And goddamn, what's the stuff I watch on YouTube? Fuck, what is it called? The true crime stories.
True crime. Oh yeah, yeah.
Those things be scary to me. Like, did you hear
For
that?
My Man and all that stuff.
I haven't watched For My
Snap
Man,
and-
but at least that would make a little more sense. It'd be some extra crazy shit. Like, did you see the story about the guy who was just standing on this lady's lawn, and she was about to walk her dog out, and then she's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, this bitch is crazy," and she walked in,
Yeah,
and
she
he
walked
just
in,
walked. He walked up. He just kind of like sauntered up, pulled up his pants because
Yeah,
if you're gonna
and
rape
put
somebody, you
gloves
gotta
on.
make sure you put. And then he tried to open the door. Then he went out the windows and he tried to, and then he took out the screen off the window. Off of the back door and that kind of stuff. And I'm like, that shit's scary.
Yeah.
Because what makes you think that's okay? And Maryland is a state that you can't have guns in and carry around unless you've been already attacked.
Sea mouse is scaring me right now.
Oh, stupid.
It's inside joke again.
No, CMOS is a very good product for people who get phlegm. And it helps with toxicities, right? So it's like It has like 92 of the 108 nutrients that we need
Mm.
in our body.
Mm.
But it's like it's a gelatinous. It's
Mm.
like a gel, has no taste to it.
So you eat it.
Um, yeah, you just you put in.
Okay.
I put it in my smoothies. So I was telling Ray about sea moss because I was like, he's trying to eat healthy, eat better, and I'm like, sea moss is really good detoxant.
Mm.
It really is good.
Mm.
So I use it. I know I don't get flimmy. Like if I have ice cream or something like
Mm.
that.
Yeah, that milk stuff don't back up and all that.
Yeah, I don't have a
Can't feel
backup
it.
problem, but I just feel like I become nasally.
Mhm.
So I take the sea moss and it helps with that's how I feel. So he's a jerk. Uh Maryland, you have to get assaulted first
Yeah, before
before
you
you
can
can
get
carry. You
carry.
can
Okay.
so I have a license to carry.
Mm.
Two reasons you can have a license to carry: if you carry around money and you do stuff like
Yeah.
real estate,
Mm.
or if you get assaulted already. And they're like,
So
oh
they
well,
don't believe in being proactive; they being reactive. Okay.
they respond to
Okay.
the fire instead of
Okay. Oh
getting
wow.
ready,
Okay.
prepared. But you can have a shotgun in your house.
Okay.
So if
Well,
they
yeah,
come in your house,
blow them back out.
you can, yeah.
Mm.
But you have to wait until they come in your
You
house.
got to
So you're
step
like
foot in the door.
terrified.
Hmm. Yeah.
And this woman was like happened for like 15 minutes. Like to me, that's scary.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, ghosts can do ghost shit. Yeah, you can give me, you can like jump in and out. But a person that that's the scary
So
shit.
that was actually my statement during all that time. Was like, I'm not scared of the ghosts. I'm scared of
I mean, you was in the French Quarter. I mean,
the
you was on Canal
ninjas.
Street.
I'm
Yeah.
scared of the ninjas because they the ones that actually gonna do you something. So that was my statement.
Yeah. So
Um, what do I say? Oh, I remember the first time I got scared. The very first time during Halloween
okay.
when I was a baby. When I no, I wasn't a baby. I had to be 2 or 3.
How the hell you
And
remember that?
because it was one of them situations. So you remember traumatic stuff or
No.
certain stuff at 2 or 3. You know,
I don't remember anything. I
no.
remember. I don't. There's a lot I forgot.
You just well, I remember this.
I forget a lot.
So we was in.
I think I remember 11.
What the hell?
Yeah.
So you just like okay,
So I guess-
I'm
I
almost
remember
teenager.
0 to. I remember 0. I mean, I don't remember 0. I remember like Claiborne. I remember
Okay.
Claiborne.
Mm.
I remember like the little snapshots of certain things, but the people
I
that
was
say
almost a
stuff, I don't
teenager.
remember
Okay.
that. No.
I'm about to teenager soon. Okay.
Yeah,
I remember now.
pretty
I
much.
remember.
Yeah.
Oh no, I got my period. Okay. Hey, I'm here. That's my memory.
And I think that came because of cramp. I was like, that's probably why I remembered it.
What is this? What is it?
I love Black Mirror.
Yeah, I love
Now,
that
Black
show too.
Mirror was scary.
Yeah,
There
I
are
like that
scary
show.
Black Mirror episodes. I will say that. Because
Mm.
like the dog one, the mechanical dog,
Yeah.
that was scary to me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because that's actually true. There's mechanical. Yeah, mechanical stuff is actually something to have.
That's what scares me.
Those
Technology doing
robots.
shit
Yeah.
like that,
Mhm.
that's scary.
Mhm.
The eye stuff,
Yeah. They
that shit was
they
scary.
about to have that too. Look like
They
I
do
saw.
have
Well, I don't know if it's going to be the same right now, but is the actual technology for that they have it. Yeah. Because I got a somebody hit me up trying to get me to like fund it or whatever, crowdsourcing or crowdfunding or whatever for that technology. And I'm like, nope, I don't want it.
I mean, but the government buys stuff and sits on it, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff already
Probably
exists.
already exists. Yeah.
Right. That's
Yeah.
how I feel.
Hey, let the steam engine go. You got that. You took it from the black man.
I forget that episode. Ha ha ha. I forget. I forget that
I
episode.
forgot that one. Blanking out mirrors. I don't remember that one. I don't remember.
Oh, but was that Black Mirror? Where her son was being sexually assaulted by
that was it. Yeah, I remember that. I don't know.
Guy. Was that Black Mirror?
Yeah.
I don't know if that was Black Mirror.
Yeah, because it ended up. Well, I'm not gonna say it. If y'all watch Black Mirror, I'm not gonna tell you who it was, but she was blacking out what happened.
Yeah,
to the guy.
I don't remember if that was Black Mirror,
Yeah,
but I do remember that episode. Yeah.
There you go. Her child's being molested. There you
Yeah.
go. So we're not gonna give a spoiler. We ain't gonna tell no more if they won't watch.
I mean, that's pretty much the whole.
Yeah, child's being molested. So
I mean, the rest of it was just weird. But that's funny that you brought it into the conversation. So I was sitting here minding my business, listening to YouTube. I was getting ready, and there's this guy I watch on YouTube. His name is Troyce TV, TROYCE, Troyce TV, and he's like this, like he's rude. I love listening to him because he's like he's like he's like he's like somebody who just kind of tells it like it is, right? He's actually the guy who I sent to Ray about the sea moss and stuff like that, because he did this one video. he does a lot of real discussions about stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right? But this one I just happened to listen to today talked about generational curses
Mm-hmm.
and how he lost. He said how he lost 608 pounds. He didn't lose that much
What
weight,
the
but he
hell?
lost a lot of weight. He was a
Mhm.
big boy, and he said there was the eating healthy component of it, but it was also breaking the generational curses of it all. And I'm like, you know what? I spend so much time, and I know I spend so much time saying how much I hate generational wealth discussions, the terminology generational wealth, and I thought the reason why I hate it is because it's overused and oversaturated, and that is one of the reasons. But the other reason is because a lot of the foundation for how we try to describe generational wealth comes from generational curses
Mhm.
and the idea, and nobody discusses that avenue of it, right?
Mm.
Of generational curses and what are generational curses, and not from a standpoint of pointing fingers and blame and like trying to assert some kind of, oh, go back to your mom and call her and say, look what you did to me, you're the reason why I'm like
This is
this,
it. This reason.
you know.
You're
Or
evil.
even to like hurt yourself or harm yourself verbally with it. It's just to say, all right, we have to understand if that we all come from great and bad situations, right? We have our strong suits and our negative suits. But if we don't acknowledge the toxicity of certain situations, then it's going to keep us, and it's going to literally kill us. Um He did
you,
say that.
you
That's
like
how he
he
talks.
was like diabetes doesn't run in your family. Nobody runs in your family.
Um, and so like, but it was a he was very raw and real. But I thought about it and I was thinking, and I was like, this is a real topic that we don't talk about. Like the idea of for generational wealth, I associated it with that first. And I was like,
Mm.
okay, well, generational wealth, what's the curse of generational wealth? Well, um, the consumerism
Mhm.
of things, right? Poverty mindset means that people want to surround themselves with stuff so they can feel like they're
They're doing
good.
something. Yeah.
Yes. And when in all actuality, you're just creating a bigger debt hole for yourself. And it's things like that that, you know, so I brought this up and this is how this conversation started. So, um how do you how do you look at look in the mirror? Well, where do you find out? How do you figure out what your generational curses are? How do you?
I would think whatever makes you make certain moves, whatever makes you sways you to do things
So,
from
okay, your
young from
actions.
yeah your actions from young. Like it's something that you can identify something that you do all the time that started off when you're younger, or that's rooted in something maybe your parents did that you witness, and you find yourself doing the same thing. That might be it, and it gives you a negative a negative result also.
Okay. Um, Choice defines trauma as the moment. Like he defines like generational curses as traumatic events in your life that you can attribute
Mm-hmm.
to outward impetus, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
outward actions instead of inside
Instead of
stuff.
inside.
What did Ray say? Sorry, I didn't say.
He said, "Look at your parents." Look
He's
back
like,
up.
look how fucked up your parents
Look
are.
at your parents. A blueprint of curses are within their problems.
Yeah, yeah, but we don't like my only
You're
problem.
the reason, Mom, Dad. Look at me now. I'm screwed up. Thank you.
I've heard people say that. And those people are so like not everybody who says that, but I've
Mm,
actually heard
mm,
somebody like
mm,
go like
mm,
in, like
mm,
rabbit in
mm,
like that. And it wasn't like provoked.
mm,
Oh, I know where I saw it. So there's this this video that was going around at one point, and it was like Thanksgiving. No, it was Christmas. It was Christmas.
mm,
And it was Christmas, and the guy didn't get he didn't get his video game or get his video like box or something
mm,
like that, or the dad was like, oh yeah, he didn't get it. They gave him like a joke gift where they
mm.
bought him something else,
Oh,
and
he
he
lost
flipped
his
the
shit.
table.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah, and it was just a joke gift. They had the real gift or something. I seen that.
Did they have it real?
I think they had the real gift. They just gave him the joke gift first or something like that.
Oh, that makes it worse.
Yeah.
Like, but I would like. I laughed. I ain't gonna lie. I laughed when I saw. I said, "This dude is crazy." But the part of it, the part now. I mean, I'm older, and I'm like I gotta look at every aspect now. I can't just laugh at shit for the sake of laughing at it. And I'm like,
You gotta be adult. Gotta act like
yeah,
adult.
now I look at that video and I'm thinking, these people probably taunted him to the point where he just like lost it. Either that, he has some mental, and mental things are another part of generational curse.
Yeah.
If that runs in the family, it runs in the family.
Older people having kids, like my friend said, old sperm and eggs. Making damaged kids.
It's so stupid.
From a resilient perspective, though, observing their difficulties can give you an opportunity to make the choices to overcome them.
I gotta chew on that one because like you can't observe it, but so okay, this is why I had to chew on that. I've seen people, and there are always people with kids, have kids and say I'm not gonna be like my parent, and then they end up being worse because they're so focused on this one avenue that their parent wasn't to them that they forget the other stuff. So they end up having shit kids.
They make a new generation curse then.
Yes, and they do that.
They branch off.
And so, like for me, I try to my thought. It just is an opinion. I don't look at my parent. I look at me and I pull me apart. I tear my dynamic sorry, that's fucked up. That's how I feel.
We all have those lessons.
I feel like I'm gonna fight you. If you told me, if I was your mom and you told me that, thank you for all your lessons. Bitch, you're alive. You're welcome.
You're alive because of me.
Which is the cop out answer parents will give you. You're still alive.
I was here.
Yeah, I stayed.
Hey, mom, how you doing?
Shade. But like when you start looking at yourself, right? Like the easiest thing to talk about, right, is physicalities, right? Do you have a muscle? Maybe you might want to start working out. Like, I mean, and I understand there are limitations and that kind of thing, but I'm like there are segments of everything that we talk about: emotional security, physical security, mental, financial, so forth and so on, right? Like, can you cook a meal? Bitch, that's you. Right? And
you gotta learn. Yeah. At some point you gotta stop blaming your parents. You could pick up any kind of knowledge, especially now, this day and age. We have internets in our hand all day, 24/7. We got a computer in our hand. I hadn't asked you to be here. Now I gotta eat sea moss and shit.
I don't have a taste to it. That's the good news.
This is what we bought into.
World. But like, so you start looking at so stupid. When you start looking at the overall access of things, right? Like, look at your skin. If you got pits and divots and stuff like that, then you need to take better care of your skin. If you got, if you can't touch your toes, then you need to start taking care of your physical self, your flexibility. If you can't pick something up,
when you breathe.
And that might be a part of generational stuff. Like if you're from the South, we cook with love and lard.
And lard, yes, love and lard.
Like, and that's, I mean, and like honestly, I will say this, like I used to say all the time, my mom couldn't cook to save her life. But that's
I just said that today. I just said that today.
But that's not true. That, like, the fact remains is that, like, she tried to give us vegetables and stuff like that, but we lived in an environment that fresh vegetables were not something that we were accustomed to or taught to have. It was all canned. It was all this. It was all preservatives, and like canned stuff is terrible. It is like in the 80s, canned, all that crap was terrible. Maybe they found a way to do, and then it wasn't BPA free, so we was just dying slowly on the inside.
Getting all kind of additives,
lead poison,
extra additives in our air.
So like the cans were made of lead, and this all is leached in the food. This was not good quality food, and a lot of it wasn't her, and a lot of it is she didn't have access to information. She didn't know better. She did the best she could with the information given. This is why I don't look At least you need to get BPA-free cancer. That's what you need to start looking into. Otherwise, lead is leaching into your food. But that's why I don't want to look back.
Well, no. At some point, we gotta blame that because we got the encyclopedia. At some point, we got the encyclopedia. Remember, we had the white encyclopedias. She should have looked in the encyclopedias.
Those encyclopedias
they
were
went
used
door
to
to door
to punish us.
Hold
to hold them up. Yeah, that's what those encyclopedias were for. Every now and again, we had a book report.
Exactly. Once you with a book report, the encyclopedias came out.
Like, oh shit!
Oh, they got knowledge in this thing. Okay.
I remember thinking that all the knowledge was in this encyclopedia, and I couldn't understand.
And we was missing a volume. Remember, we was missing like 1 or 2 volumes. So it was like, damn, we missed.
I don't remember that, but I just remember I was upset because N was so thin.
Yeah.
It was so thin. I was like, there's no information in N. Like, I was just remember that. I'm like, this is all information in the whole world. Yeah, there was no information in N and Z. Nobody was doing shit with those letters. Yeah. Oh, see, look, Naju's educated. But you have places like Mississippi, like the South. Like I said, love and lard, and the stuff be good, but it ain't good for you.
Nope. It tastes good though. There's some good old slave food coming out of that boy.
What? Okay. Look, but it's not good for you. So then you have to think about, all right, that's why I don't want to push back and be like, your parents are the reasons why diabetes exists. No. I mean, is it a part of it? Yes. But like, how does that affect you now? Like, what can you do to change? Because now we're adults. Like maybe we had that problem. Maybe I can sit there. I can look at the person who sits there and give a Twinkie to a kid who's 12 and
this your breakfast.
I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna say this. So I was talking to your sister, right?
Oh, what?
You know your sister ain't nothing. Your sister ain't nothing, and your nephew not nothing. Okay, nothing. So he had football practice, and the place they were supposed to have football practice at, the people didn't unlock the gate. So instead of them not unlocking the gate, because nobody came to unlock, they said they have football practice, so they hopped the gate. So they hopped the gate. Everybody's hopping the gate. Foo, foo, foo. You know, like, yeah, I kind of low key feel like if a gun's behind me, I'll hop the gate. I can still hop the gate. I ain't trying to do it on purpose because that'll hurt. Yeah, I can't do gizzards.
Yeah, I like gizzards. That's
you like gizzards?
Yes, I like gizzards in hot sauce. Yes. I'm a Negro.
It's like rocks. I'm a Negro. It tastes like rocks. That's how it feels like me. I'm gonna break a tooth.
And I like liver too. Yes.
I don't mind chicken liver, but
I'm a Negro.
Gizzards. So all the kids hopping or whatever, and then they had the who's in front of the quarterback?
The big boy. Oh, you talking about the nose, not the nose guard.
Well, who's the big boy? Who's like?
No, you talking about the line. There's a line, and you talking about
the biggest boy in football.
It depends. This is a line. You can have tackles. You can have guards. You got.
Well, whatever. The biggest boy in football, was trying to cross and on that team was trying to go up the.
He told you the center. Yeah, the center. Yeah.
Is it the center? Yeah. Thank you. So then he's like, and she from California.
Gizzards and liver. Yes.
Joy from
liver.
California.
Thank you, Joe. Gizzards and liver is delicious. Yes, it is. Delicious.
Yuck. That's why you like hood people.
The left tackle. He said the left tackle.
That's why you talk to me. Is that why you talk to me?
Tackle.
You think I like gizzards and liver?
Yeah.
Ugh. Yuck. So he's a big boy. He's trying to go up he's going up now, because COVID, the parents can't be around really. So the parents are in the cars, right? And I'm on the phone with Katrina, and Katrina's like 1. And then she's like 2. And I'm like 3. And like I'm talking to her while she's like 1, counting. 2, 3. I'm like, what the fuck are you counting? She's like, the amount of times he's trying to cross the gate.
Murphy's trying to get over the gate?
No, the kid.
The big kid. Oh, wow. Okay.
Then she got to 6. I said, where's his parent? Where's his parent? I would have said, get in the car, we're going home. They don't care about you.
They got vegan gizzards?
No, I'm sure they will though. One day they will. So finally the coach now keep in mind, this is how I feel. This is what happened. Keep in mind, they gotta wait for him to get over so they can have their practice. So everybody on the other side, like, yeah, you got it. You got it. Yeah. I said, why nobody helping him get it? Ain't nobody. He a big boy. You can't. Ain't nobody about to put put their back into that. So the coaches finally bring their little raggedy asses over
Probably someone
and
watching it.
drag two trash cans over so he can get on that because they wasn't risking their backs for him instead of like finding a creative way to have it on the other side instead of doing this to this boy. So I'm talking to Katrina, and Katrina's like trying not to laugh. I'm like, but you laughing. I hear you laughing. She said, yeah, but I don't want him to see I'm laughing. So then she said she's looking around. Everybody in every car is laughing. He's like, one of them.
All the parents is laughing in the car.
And one of them was his
the
parent.
mama. Was the
She looked at every car. I was like, oh, so he's laughing. So, and then I started laughing. So then I get a call back a little later. Oh, no, before I get a call back, I tell Katrina, I said, well, this is just dumb. I said, I feel bad for that boy. She said, no, they're trying to encourage him so he can be better. And it's like teamwork building and whatever. I said, no, it's not. I said, setting that boy up for failure. I said, guess what? She's like, what? I said, what's going to happen after training's over?
Gotta jump back over that damn fence.
After doing all those laps and after doing all this stuff, he gotta take his ass and climb back over the fence and go back. And
okay, this is the rule. Ray said the rule.
What?
If his parents laugh, you're allowed to laugh.
Oh, that's not good.
That's the rule.
I mean, we laughed.
That's
I ain't
the
gonna
rule.
lie. I mean, this is the reality of his life. He's gonna have to do something to change that. So then she called me when practice came over. Your sister called me.
I'm surprised she didn't video it. That would.
That's how bad she felt.
Okay, she did. Okay,
she's like, that would have been bad.
She felt bad for the child.
She didn't feel bad enough not to call me though, because she called me and she was like, "Yo, they're about to do it now. Why your nephew? Everybody else crossed over. Your nephew was like, think smart, not hard." So he was like watching. He was taking a break one time from trying to go over multiple times on the trash can. He just jumped on the trash can. He said, "Thank you," and then crossed over.
While the boy was trying to do it. All right, I got you. See you.
I was like, I said, where was anybody over on the other side? Like, come on, you got it. And he said, no, they went home.
They went home. They wouldn't cheer them all.
See, that's the bullshit I'm talking about. That right there, generational curse. Instead of like people realizing, one, he shouldn't have been doing that. He could really hurt himself. That's just the fact. Two, whoever parent he was, that he belonged to, they need to. It's their fault. That's when I can say, okay, we can look at them and sit down and be like, you know, that little boy. And then they have to run laps. He does a brisk walk.
Yeah, the bigger kids usually do.
No.
Bigger kids usually do. But you need big kids on the line. You need those kids. They serve a purpose.
I need kids not to die.
They serve a purpose in football.
Or like take their knees out because they're too big to run on their knees. Like their knees are like, what the hell is happening? That is not okay. You feeding him fat back just so he can hold the line.
No, I don't think the parents at that age are feeding them kids that shit to do that. It's just they're using big kids for what they can do.
See, look at Ray.
Okay, we had a fat dude die in basic training. Homie fell off the high obstacle and proved gravity works. That's messed up.
Oh no!
We all refer to him as Lawn Dart now. Oh, that's damn shame, Lawn Dart. That's a damn shame. If y'all know what lawn darts is, the thing with the big heavy ball on the end of it, it got looks like an arrow at the back end of it, and you throw it, and you're supposed to go in the circle.
I feel bad. You made me you didn't make me laugh. I laughed by myself because I'm an awful person. But I laughed out loud. I'm so sorry.
Lawn dart.
Yes, I'm so sorry. It's not funny that
gravity
he fell.
does work.
That's fucked up. See, that's what I mean. You set people up for failure, and they sitting here testing the limits of your body. Like, okay, I'm gonna get off of that. I'm gonna get off of it.
That's a touchy subject. You know, weight is
weight sometimes doesn't have anything to do with you.
It don't have nothing to do, with the food either. You know,
but no, you have stuff like food deserts where fresh fruits and vegetables don't exist.
Yeah, true.
Like there's places that you have like now Aldi's has goes I can't deal with him. Aldi's has places.
Oh damn. Oh, Lawn Dart Johnson.
I can't deal with him. Like all these are better places, but back in the 80s, back in the 90s, it definitely didn't have that. So you have these people who had high sodium diets and that kind of stuff. So it's like, all right, understand where you came from, and also sometimes provide the excuse to why you couldn't have been better back then because we didn't have the options. We didn't know better.
Yeah, we didn't know all that. We didn't have that information back in the day, like high blood pressure or something prevalent, because we didn't know.
We just thought people died in our family of strokes.
Yeah,
that's just. I mean, I always tell people, I'm like, I'm probably gonna have a stroke. I used to say it because both grandmas had a stroke,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, and then grandfather on the mama's side had diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
and grandfather on the other side was a hoe.
Yeah, Papa was a rolling stone.
I don't know what he had.
We don't know.
Like we don't know.
Yeah,
Because he's a hoe. Like it's like you never know. Like so, this is the stuff we come from, but it doesn't mean that we can't learn different. We can't do different. Like it's like, and when I became vegan, I'm not vegan anymore. By the way, I just practice more of a whole base, whole fruit, whole vegetable. Like I do a more holistic approach. But when I used to be vegan, the information that was out there that I still didn't know was still like I was harmful to myself. I ended up
even
giving
in
myself
being
health
vegan,
issues.
it's still an issue. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just figuring it out and figuring out how to get this stuff. You're doing the best job you can, and that's important to know. But you also have to realize that's not the end of it. You still need to do more, right? Um,
She identifies as a vegan.
oh, you're stupid.
She identifies as a vegan.
You're stupid. So and I know it stresses you out that you don't see the correction on the screen, and that's good. I hope you sit in that. I hope you sit in that, Ray. So that's the health component of things, right? So what do you start doing? Oh, you start moving more. Like I hate walking. When I had the surgery, I had to walk. When I didn't have people around me, I didn't walk. Who gives a shit? Who gives a shit? Like I ain't about to walk, and I had to sit there and find other ways to do stuff because I didn't want to do it. All right, so you don't want to walk. What I love doing, dancing. I love dancing because it's like cardio without thinking about it.
It's a rhythm.
Yeah, it's like
you got music to help you,
and you sweating. And then it's like, all right, well, what other things can you look at, right? You need to start assessing those things so you can move on. But let me tell you the 3 things you need to be. You need to be stronger, you need to be faster, and you need to be flexible, more flexible. That's it. I'm not saying Usain Bolt. I'm not saying contortionist. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying from today, you need to work on these 3 things to be better than you are from today. I did walk initially, but then I got tired of walking. I'm like, this is boring. Because I'm one of those people who have a short attention span, and so to get the most out of my walk, I have to do longer distances. Or I can do like now I've started doing yoga, and yoga is like I sweat a lot. Like the so the instructor's like, hey, I'm gonna walk around and adjust people. And he's like, just so you know, everybody, if it's not okay, just let me know. He never adjusts me. Why? Because I'm pouring sweat.
Sweating.
I'm pouring. Like I'm sitting downward dog water. Like dripping. Channels of water just dripping. Yes, Heidi is also good for hoes.
Yeah, I believe there's a whole like genre of women and stuff that like to stay bendy, and they get paid.
It's messing with their business.
Yeah, they need to do that to get paid premium dollars.
Yoga gives you gas because it was inside of you. Let it go.
It's just coming out.
Yes, let it go.
It's just coming out.
So now let's talk about the food component of things, right? Just real quick. Yeah, I mean, do you have to give up the shit that tastes good? No, you don't. But you can reduce the amount that you eat. Yeah. Right, you can start eating greens. Like how I started eating more actual because I thought that I didn't like vegetables just because the canned vegetables taste awful. You know how the longest time I eat green beans.
Green beans, yeah. Green beans, yeah.
Because I thought it was awful until I realized that was just those canned ones. Yeah. So what I started doing is I started juicing. Like for me, juicing was a pivotal moment where everything changed in my life. Even that was after I was a vegan. Because I mean, I did the vegan thing, but I kind of tried to slide stuff in. Like I'd have a salad because I don't mind salads, but I wouldn't eat the rainbow of stuff because I thought it would be nasty. So I was like, all right, start juicing. So I started introducing those things into my juices, and like little by little, like little parts of it, and then I'm like, okay. And then eventually, I actually craved it. Like I love kale, I love beets, I love like avocado. I didn't even know I liked avocado. Like. Not guacamole, people. Avocado, the actual, like, just eat avocado. Like, I didn't even know I like those things, like radishes, and then it grows you into other areas. But if you start slowly introducing little pieces of it, you'll like it just because you're. What is he saying? Just add a stick of butter per can and some salt. That's an old Mississippi recipe.
Yep, that's what that is.
So like you just start introducing more into it, right? So if you know you don't eat vegetables, I remember there was a point, like I had a homeboy, he didn't eat vegetables. I'm like, at all? I just looked at him like I was like, what do your insides look like? Like you are constipated. Like that you don't eat
Yeah.
no vegetables? Cause I'm like vegetables. Like if you do a juice, you can do a juice smoothie, y'all. Here's a helpful hint. If you don't eat vegetables at all, this is what you do. You go and make yourself a fruit smoothie, right? Because if you don't eat no vegetables, I mean you like a lot of sweet shit. So in the fruit smoothie, you just put spinach, or you put kale, or you put collard green in it, and you just put it in. Now I fill mine's up because I know it doesn't have a taste. But for the new people, just put in a little bit. Just put in a little bit and blend it. And one, it'll make you poop, which is good. You need to get all that stuff out your system because that means you eat a lot of starchy stuff and a lot of meat. And two, you start acclimating yourself to the taste of vegetables, of that those kind of vegetables, and you switch it around. You do those things. And then once you get used to that taste of maybe spinach or maybe collard greens, then you get shard is another one. Shard is a rainbow colored one, so you get more colors in your smoothies, and just kind of work your way through that's what I'm saying. I'm not telling you to just start like get rid of everything. Don't be like me. I'm extremist. Got rid of everything. I stopped eating. Cold turkey stopped eating meat and just started trying to make this work. I'm saying working in a little by little, but always know you're trying to do better, right? The same thing with the strength, cardio, and flexibility. With food, it should be: Are you eating your vegetables? You should be
The
aiming to
different
eat.
colors.
I mean, I ain't even fuck the colors for now, right?
Colors.
Actual vegetables, not potatoes and sweet potatoes, not starchy stuff
The
or
orange
corn.
potatoes.
Yeah, or
Your mom
corn.
orange potatoes.
Those three things, except those three things,
Mm.
you should be aiming to eat at least one vegetable a day that's not starchy. Just one. Just one serving of vegetable a day. That's it. That's all I ask. And like just to be better than you are. What do you say?
I like the taste. For me, it's about more about textures. If there's a fresh onion texture in my food, send it back.
Hmm. But see, to me, onions aren't. What's
Uh,
she say?
there you go. That's the colors. My wine is red.
It is a part of it. And then you get the benefits. Why not?
Mm.
Red has tannins in it. It's very
Mm.
good for lower blood pressure. Isn't like I mean, nobody said that everything was horrible. Vegetables taste good. Onions, you could puree onions if you really need onions. Onions are actually really good for you. Onions and garlic are really good for your respiratory uh factories. So, but that's just like I said, the more you grow, the more you know, and you start doing better. And then some days I still don't do work. I still don't do shit. I'll still wake up with a chicken in my mouth. Like it's like, oh, it just happened. It happened.
Mm-mm. How that get there?
Grease get over my mouth. Like some days it happened, but at least you're trying to be better.
I eat tomatoes. I eat them on flatbread with mac and cheese. It's called pizza. Yes, that's what's called.
mm,
Mm.
mm.
It's so good. So good.
How about you load some vegetables on your pizza too? How about that? How about you put some spinach on your pizza,
Veggie pizza.
basil, like that kind of stuff. I understand not tomato, not onions, but peppers, green peppers, red peppers, colors. You can
Black
do those
olives.
things. Is olives a vegetable?
I think it is. Yeah, got to see.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Yeah, I
didn't think
think
about
it
that.
is. Yeah.
So that's
No,
that.
hold on. Is fruits have seeds? I don't remember.
I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even try. I just
Yeah,
know you're supposed to eat shit.
yeah.
Like it's
Just
like
eat
eat that
shit. There you
stuff.
go. Eat
Eat
some
it.
shit.
Just eat it. Um. Then so we're talking about that part. What are other generational curses, right? How about having like the weakest elements of family members, right? The ones who be like, "Hey nephew, let me hold something," or "Hey mama,
Mm.
mama, I was doing this and this and this and this and this and I need
Also a
help.
fruit. That's
You're
what it
my
is.
mama. Why don't you help me? You're my dad. Why don't you help me?" Those kind of things, or have I had a had somebody talk to me about a situation with their wife
Mm.
and how they were trying to save up money. They're starting a business, and the wife would steal money from the bank account.
Mm.
It's stuff like that. That stuff, that's curses. Like the poverty is not something that people do on purpose, right? It's not like these people are in your pocket on purpose. There's something missing that they need, and they always have been taught that families used to give the need, right? Instead of like how many people have been in a situation where they've had family or close friends borrow money from them, and you never see that shit
Borrow.
again.
Here your little funky $40.
No, they don't even do that. You just never see them again.
Yeah.
And then they get mad. They'll see you and whatever, and you'll just be pissed off about it. But they pay the bank on time, no problem.
Yeah.
Right. And instead, like, I never understood that. I'm like, the people who are with you from day one, are the people you should always take care of. And the people who, like, who gives a shit about a bank? You never get to see them. They just call you on the phone. Don't answer the phone. But you see me every Wednesday. And now I'm going to be looking at you with the boo-boo face because I done lent you something. And then the time's going to come when you actually need something. You're going to be like, hey.
Nope. Nope. Before you ask me, nope.
And that's how I am. I remember somebody, I lent money, but I ain't shit. I tell you ahead of time. Don't come to me asking me for money, because I'll tell you right ahead. Let's look at your finances first. Let's see what you got coming in. Let's see what you got coming out. That's how people don't fuck with me.
Yeah. Nope. We can't do it.
No, they don't fuck with me.
You're high risk.
I've had a handful of people be okay with that. And actually, and all those people paid me back. Because if you're not willing to tell me what you got and what you make and that kind of stuff, you weren't never going to pay me back.
Yeah, you wasn't going to pay you back anyway. Yeah, olives is a fruit.
Is it a fruit?
Yeah, olives is a fruit. Because it got a, because it has a seed.
We have a dissertation. Time. We have a dissertation from Ray.
Shit you not. Told the Burger King kid I wanted my burger with no veggies. Got my burger and it had tomatoes. I walked up pissed. Told the kid I asked for no veggies. What the fuck? He looked me dead in my face and replied, "But tomatoes are a fruit, sir." I went blank faced and said, "You deserve the effing raise, but can I get a new burger with no veggies or fruits, please?"
That's a good one. Goddamn. Nobody, look, no, you ain't supposed to be working here with your...
You're too smart, sir. Get another job.
Yeah, they're not supposed to be. You're at the wrong place. There's a vegetable here. Okay? That's what it is. He says a fruit, sir. I'd have been pissed. You know how you start out mad? You'd be like...
Yeah, you can't even be mad. Okay, I still want it my way. Take all that shit off of there.
Oh, it's a fruit. Stupid. All right, so you have people who come to you about money, right? And so maybe you're the person who does that. Maybe maybe you're the person who asks people for stuff, and you're like, but they're supposed to do because they care about you. They're your bigger brother. There's your sister. There's this, that, and the third. But my thing is this: how do you you know what I never understood? How people take from people and they don't know how they got it.
Yeah.
I never understood that.
They could have sucked a couple of they could have did anything.
And you sitting there, and you know the other thing, I will say that people who are lenders, who are trying to help people, people who tend to be the people who lend money to people are never the people who ask for money from anybody else.
They hardly ever ask for money.
Like, I remember I left my wallet somewhere and I accidentally didn't take my wallet with me. It hurt so bad to ask somebody for money. Even though I knew I was going back to, yes.
Yeah, exactly. You know you had the money.
Yes. So explain the statement I made about that. When you have people who ask people for money, right, are always people who never have money.
Oh, yeah. Historically, they never have any money.
Consistently, they never have any money. Now, I'm not saying through their fault. Sometimes it's not through their fault. Sometimes shit happens, hard times, or whatever the case may be. But here's the thing. If we're talking about generational curses and trying to break it, you have to be willing to unalign yourself with people, be it whether they're being malicious or not. Like, if that person is always in a deficit, then he's going to drag, like Squid Games. Squid Games, perfect example.
Oh, Jesus. Yeah, exactly.
Perfect example. In that tug of rope. In that tug of rope situation, right? In this case, you're aligning you have 5 people that got to be on your team, right? 5 fucking people, right? If the tug of rope was a money situation where they said, "Oh, we're trying to make sure, like, you know, nobody's ever owed anybody money," or, you know, you're trying to make sure you can cover your own costs and cover your own things. And you got these people who owe people money, who borrowing from you. So now you can't cover your costs. And so you got this, your strength is weak because you can't support, you're supporting their weight and yours.
Because they're bringing it. Yeah, that's like you say, family dynamics. You know, if you got a family together and you only have one person working hard, the other person is pouring money out the back.
You're doing all the fucking pulling while they're like this. You're doing good. God gonna bless you. God gonna bless you.
I'm your support system.
Yeah,
I'm your support.
you're doing good.
Go
And
ahead.
then you look back and you see these motherfuckers ain't doing shit, and then you get better. And that stuff, that's how you turn into the toxicity of you see these older people that are bitter.
Yeah.
You see these old people, and I'm like, this is independent of sex, and I don't blame them, because how do you leave people behind that you love? It's fucking hard, but you still do it, because at the end of the day, like Squid Games, the thing I really liked about Squid Games, it was a metaphor for actual life.
Yeah, for things that happen in life. Yeah.
It was a metaphor for poverty. It was a metaphor for trying to get out of the generational situation of their own doing. A lot of people set themselves up, but not everybody did.
Not everybody, yeah.
The Pakistan, I think he's from Pakistan. The Pakistani guy, he didn't.
Yeah.
He just happened to be born into a bad situation.
And he happened to be stupid. So
he was trustworthy. He wasn't stupid.
He was stupid.
He was trustworthy.
he was stupid. That was dumb.
It wasn't the smartest move he made in life.
It was dumb.
But I mean, but my thing is, these are all like, and I'd argue that man is a good man, but he set his own world up. There was decisions that we make every day. We make decisions every day, and some decisions are beyond our control, but some are beyond our control, right? He was stupid trusty, and he was also stupid risking his life to kill. That guy would have got shot if it was me in red light, green light.
Exactly. Yeah, he would have been. Yeah,
then he'd have fell down. I'm like, might have been up like this.
And then I got shot because bam. Oh damn.
No, I just froze like that. Red light, green light. Sorry, Nick.
Been emoji.
Like,
I'd have been emoji.
So like, but that's what I mean when I talk about like the taking of it, and you didn't think I was gonna pull through with that whole tug of war analogy. You didn't think I was gonna get on the other side of it.
Okay,
you didn't think I was gonna get on the other side.
I was sitting on the ledge. I was on the ledge.
I was there.
Oh, okay.
But when I would go places, it literally, to me, my analogy, my non-Squid Game analogy, it felt like this. It felt like there's a game now that's a perfect analogy of it. It's a game on your phone. It's a stupid fucking game. It's a game but it's an appropriate one for this argument. It's a game where it's just, you start out one blue person, right? And you walk over and you see some blue people, some pink people over here, and then you touch them and they're blue people, and you're walking, and all y'all are walking, and then you see some more people over here and you touch them and you're like,
oh yeah, I seen that. Yeah.
And so you keep doing that and you build up your team of people, right? And then stuff happens and you lose team and blah, blah, blah. I always saw life like this. I saw a person. That person could either walk with me, or I leave them, or they climb on my back.
Yeah.
And there was times where I would walk up to somebody and I felt like they were on my back.
On your back.
And now I gotta walk with you.
Now you gotta figure out how that you have to leave them at that point.
Mush. You ain't lie. How you gonna risk your life and you ain't got all your fingers, bro? Life ain't what you need to be risking. You want to see my walk? That's my walk. That's my authentic.
Sesame Street.
That's how I see it. So when you look at your people that are around you, and look, and I don't know if I were to have a kid, I would feel this way, but I feel like I would be this way. I'm practical. This is how I feel. I look at every fucking body and I handle them accordingly, because my back can't take your weight. Okay, I can't take it. All right, I'm weak. I gotta support these things on my chest. I gotta deal with my own problems. And then you mean to tell me when my own problems exist, I can't turn around and say, hey,
you gotta ignore your own problems in order to look at other people and see what their problems are. Yeah.
Let me tell you how I laughed at an argument. Full argument. And I was like trying to explain in calm tones. I was using a calm tone voice. And I was like, hey, here's my problem with you. I can't have a cold because every day you have the flu. He's like, I'm not sick, but you're stupid.
Look at me. Look at my lung. I can breathe. Look.
Ain't nothing
wrong with my lung.
I want to flip the table. You're fucking stupid. It's an analogy. It's an analogy. Like you first off, I do yoga. I do not carry a lot because every time they say downward dog, I'm like,
You gotta
I'm about
carry your own weight.
yes, I carry my own weight. And that's hard enough. No, I got mad. I got sincerely. I'm like, because you don't get it because you're fine.
Yeah, of course. They don't have to look at themselves. They don't have to be introspective and anything like that because you're carrying me. So, I feel so light today. What's wrong with your ass, though? Right? You over here. Why are you so negative?
You're supposed to be doing this. I've had people who I tried to help, and I was like, and back in the day, Nicole, because I ain't shit. Don't come to me now. But back in the day, Nicole, I used to be like, hey, I will help you do these things, but understand I only got so much time or whatever. And while this isn't your fault, like there were certain circumstances I try to help people with that wasn't their fault, right? It's not something that they put themselves in or whatever, but they need to be an active participant in getting themselves out of it as well. And if they don't know how to do it and you got somebody willing to show you, you need to be getting a pen and paper down and trying to get on it instead of just sitting here like, this is great.
Well, you're doing good over there. Look, you go ahead.
And my problem.
Hey, that's I had to learn that lesson too. Helping somebody, and then when you tell them, okay, yeah, you got it, this, that, the other, but you need to do this, you need to do. Hey, come on, because you on me right now. You come on, you can't rush me to do stuff because I don't feel comfortable. Oh, you know what?
Word?
You don't feel comfortable? All right,
let go. Let go.
You wrong for doing that because I lost my apartment because I did.
Oh, okay. Let go.
Sound like a problem.
God gonna bless you.
Yeah, I pray for you though.
God gonna bless you. No, I remember I got a friend out of the circumstances. They had a money situation. Got him out of the circumstances, and I was like, okay. And then he went and bought. So soon as credit score went up, soon as credit score ding up, he went and bought something. Put himself
as soon as he got out,
he got out of the debt.
Now put this up right back in.
Paid for it and everything, no problem. I'm not saying he was a deadbeat or anything, but I don't want to help you to put yourself back in the same situation. Does that make sense? Does that? I mean, it may make sense for you. That's great for you, but for the person who's doing it, is that a good use of resource of your time? Ray said you can gift a ladder, but a person still has to climb themselves because I'm not a firefighter. Yo, these arms used to be Popeye strong. I ain't even gonna lie. I used to, look, my breakup package was great. I used to say that all the time. I was like, you want to be in a relationship and end out better than you started? Get with me. Like, let's look at it. You've got the gold package. You get the apartment, all the stuff in it.
All that stuff.
You get the steal from me. I'm probably not gonna fight it. I'm just gonna move on. Like there was a time that was the situation, and it's just like because I felt that you didn't know better, because if you did know better, you wouldn't be doing that. And now I realize there are certain predators in this world, and they look like prey. And you have to understand that they are not prey. They are predators. They're sitting here talking about they can't eat.
Oh, yeah.
They are predators. They got 2 good arms and 2 good legs, just like you do. They might not be able to eat the same amount or at the same places as you can eat at, but they're not trying to hustle and get it.
And they deserve to eat whatever they can get.
But it's only gonna make them grow.
Who are you to stay in their way?
Yeah,
because they're not gonna grow as long as you stand in their way.
And I had to really check my ego on that, because that really was the case. Who am I? Who the fuck are you?
Who are you?
And also, if we're being honest, if there's any saver hoes in the audience, like I was your captain, Saver Hoe. Welcome. The true answer was I was so busy saving other fucking people, so I didn't have to look at myself and what I need to fix with me.
Yeah, it masks your own thing because you felt better about helping somebody else, so you don't see the deficit in your own life.
Yep. Petey Pablo. Hey.
You just shirt around.
So now we're talking about emotion. We're talking about financial. Look at your space now, just like I talked about with the physical and your physical self and your health wise, right? Regarding your health, when you're talking about financial and you're trying to figure out what's the curse in your life, if you are spending more than what you have, here's the thing. We already talked about. I feel like this one's redundant because we already talked about this one to death. Like I still maintain, if you ain't got 6 months of income, just sitting around, not being used and put back, but just sitting around. If you ain't got 6 months of income, you ain't doing shit, and therefore you're in a generational curse. That's it. Like, and that's not to be mean or anything like that. That's just a reality, because winter will come one day, and you need to be prepared. And if you're not prepared today, that's your curse, and you need to get on the other side of it.
What taught me that lesson, or what actually the early education, childhood education part of that lesson was the ant and the grasshopper.
Mm-hmm.
The ant and the grasshopper, Aesop
That's because we
fables.
related.
Yeah,
We used
Aesop
to do
fables.
that
Yeah.
shit all the time. Like the Aesop, ants and the grasshopper.
Yeah.
That was my jam. I was like,
Yep.
I love the ant. I was like, what's the fuck is wrong with this grasshopper? The grasshoppers all around. I'm telling you, massing themselves like they prey. They real predators. They just suck.
A
they suck the
lot
life
of people
out of
do wish dollars were like calories.
people.
But it's not the case. You can't act like it is. That's why people be messed up. Think it's gonna keep coming around.
And then mantras. So hiding behind sometimes we hide behind mantras when it comes to financial independence. It's like, oh, God's taking care of me so far, this kind of thing. How do you or that person is taking care of you, he's going to continue to take care of you. I want you to know this. You're not shit. You're a piece of shit. If you're sitting here leaning on somebody, to where you are literally taking food out of, you're a succubus.
Yeah.
Parasite. You're a parasite. You're a parasite. Sign Out, great movie. Did you get to see it?
I saw it. I gotta go back and look again, because the first time I saw it, it was like I expected something else. Yeah, I expected a little bit something else from it, but
that shit was great. That's so good. I saw it in Australia, and I'm like, I'm in another country with subtitles at the bottom, but that shit was still great. You should look it up. The Ant and the Grasshopper.
Aesop. So
Aesop
fable. This is a little backstory of Aesop, right? When I learned this, when I heard this, I was older. I was adult when I heard about the story of Aesop. So Aesop was a famous storyteller. Kings and everybody used to bring him on to tell stories. So what Aesop would do, he would tell stories about human nature, but he would tell it, and he would use animals in his stories, so not to offend the people that he was telling stories about. Well, this Halloween, shit has terminal bad endings. Aesop went to a king, and one of the kings understood that he was talking about him, I guess, and threw him off a cliff. The end. Aesop is no longer. But the Ant and the Grasshopper was a story about.
I bet you he proved this point. Because while I was going off the edge of the cliff, I'm like, bitch, that's why I said
that. It was you. You ain't shit. So Ant and the Grasshopper,
it's with two fingers. Look
exactly. Ant and the Grasshopper story about, if you know how ants do. Ants store food. They work together. They work, bringing food, whatever. The grasshopper just jumps around. And in the story, the ants were storing food for the winter, and the grasshopper was
Aesop, A-S-E-O-P.
Yeah, Aesop, A-S-E-O-P. Aesop was a long dark too. Yes, he was. Gravity got him. But the ants were storing food for the winter. The grasshopper was hopping around, living his life, playing a banjo or something, whatever they had in the story, playing a banjo. And the ant would tell him, hey,
no, he would tell the ant. He's like, man, you're working too hard.
You're working too hard. Yeah, that's what it was.
Chill out. Come play with me. And he's like, no, we got
this work to do. We got this work to do. Well, winter came, and the grasshopper had died.
That's not what happened. So he's like, he come by, every time he come by, he'd be like, hey, come play. Look, I got this tune. And the ant was like, bitch, I gotta work. We got winter coming. He's like, well, just come play when you're done. He's like, nah, I'm gonna go work. And so time passed, and it's like, nah, it's winter. And grasshopper comes in and was like, hey, yo, like a crackhead. That's how I thought in my head. It's cold out here, man. And you're like, and you have food because you've been preparing all this time. Might you be able to, because you have more than enough. You have way more than than you can need. Might you be able to supply this for me? And the ant was like, in my mind, this is how it happened. Bitch, I've been working. I've been passing you this whole fucking time. And you was like, but you want to play your banjo. You want to play your, play your banjo now.
Where that music now, nigga? Where that music now? Come on. I don't hear no tunes.
No? Okay. And then he ate his chicken, and he looked at him and closed the door in his face. And then the grasshopper died because of winter, because he was not prepared for winter. You're welcome.
And so did the grasshopper become the house entertainment for the? Yes, I guess they did.
I think they ate them eventually.
Yeah, they probably did go back and eat them.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's
we got
like,
meat now. Yeah, there you go. Aesop fables.
is it AESOP?
Yeah,
That's what I thought.
AESOP. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am. So like, and but that story resonated with me the whole time, and it's like it made it. Even though I always liked that story, I always felt like empathetic to the. I never understood there are people who choose to live on the street. They don't want to get a job. There are people who, I remember I told you this, I gave a car to a young lady, and I said, hey, this car is old. She had a kid, and I was like, you could take, it's a point A to point B thing.
Yeah.
And she decided to just do everything with it. And then the car broke down, and then she was back on a bike. And it was like, why would you set yourself up like that?
People can't help themselves because that's what they are, generate curses.
Yes. And so I'm not mad at her, but is there a likelihood of me trying to help her?
Though. That's what you were talking about, people being on your back and stuff. That's also Aesop fable. It's the scorpion and the frog.
Yes.
The frog and scorpion or something like that.
Yes.
And that's also Aesop. Like Aesop was brilliant. If you've never as a child read Aesop fable, even if you read it as a child, go back and read it again, because
they weren't for kids, they were for adults.
It was, but if you're a child and you can understand like what they're saying, brilliant lessons. It explains so many people in your life that you've never even thought about. Yeah. Yeah. It explains it. Piggy.
Anyway, so now we talked about that, right? Financial and like and so now let's talk about the harder discussion, emotional, right? The emotional pitfalls of generational curses, right? If you grew up if you grew up in a situation where you grew up in poverty, right? Here's the problem with poverty, other than the fact that it's poverty.
You're poor. Shit. That's a problem.
If you can deal with that part, here's another problem.
It's awesome if you can deal with the not having money, not having nothing to eat sometimes.
Yeah, you don't need, you want to eat. He's so stupid. So the problem with poverty is the fact that it doesn't feel like poverty. It feels like Monday. It feels like Tuesday. It feels like the life you know, right? You don't know you're poor until you get out of it.
You get out of it,
or you get worse, right? Like I'm sure there's an understanding, right, of what it is. Have you not eaten? Okay, you're poor, but you don't feel that way. You just feel like, oh, I need to do this. I need more. It's okay. Like there are people who are used to not eating every day. And that's just the normal that they're in. And it's trying to figure out how to get around that normal.
Well, the thing is,
that is not normal.
Think about not eating. Thing is, your stomach is used to that. So you're not going to know you're hungry if your stomach is used to eating smaller portions. So you don't know that you're poor because, oh, okay, I feel okay.
Yes.
Until you get some food for a little while, a certain period of time, and you have to go back to that. You have to go back to that point where you're not eating like them. Like,
first you get sick.
Oh, yeah, you get sick.
First you get sick.
Yeah. But,
the reason why I say poverty is the easiest way to explain this. There's emotional component. There's an emotional poverty, right? We go into the world not knowing that we're allotted emotional stability, emotional security, this is stuff we need to give to ourselves, or we should have been provided and by our parents, and they should have provided for themselves. And it's like a generational thing going back. And for the most part, the easiest math for me was when we were growing up, like the reason why, like I told you many times before, we laugh at inappropriate ass shit. Why? Because it's already pain in the world. You might as well find some joy.
Humor in it.
Yeah, some humor in it, and so try to make it better. So that's what it becomes. So when you have I would have these terrible fucking moments in my life, like when Aunt Carolyn, I found out Aunt Carolyn died. It was a terrible fucking moment. I'm literally crying, and at the TSA. But then I find a joke in the back of my head. Like this is like a terror. Like I'm in line and the TSA person says something like because I'm on the phone, and you ain't supposed to be on but I didn't know I was still on the phone because I was like shocked or whatever. You see tears coming out of my eyes, and the man looks at me with tears like pouring down my eyes, and he's like, "You can't be on the phone." I'm like, "You're right. What was I thinking?" And the shit was funny to me. Like, what? What does Ray say?
There was an old comedian, Jerry Clower, who explained how being poor felt and not knowing what it was like. Described a very crappy situation and said, and then the Great Depression hit. Hey,
That's
and
hilarious.
you always think it's the worst until something really bad happens, and like the pandemic. A lot of people thought their life was shit until the pandemic happened, and now you
It's like,
got respiratory HIV and people dying.
Wasn't it something? I was like, God damn.
And toilet paper, damn, $15 for damn 6 rolls.
Was it?
Toilet paper, yeah. Oh, toilet paper went sky high. It's sky high now.
I don't know.
Toilet paper and paper towels is sky high.
I'm deathly afraid of going to the bathroom and having to do a number 2 and not having any tissue. So I've always stocked my tissue, that toilet up. I've never had that problem. I just I have different fears. Like I'm a planner. I have different fears.
People,
because the cats ain't gonna pass me a roll.
Nope.
Who gonna help me?
They're gonna tell you go use that litter box. Go take a shit. They're gonna point it.
Ray said lung HIV is a bitch.
Yep, lung HIV.
Respiratory HIV is what I call it.
And the thing, why do people buy toilet paper? It don't make you shit. Stop it. It don't make you. It's not.
But the same thing. So you don't know you're in these situations, right? Emotional stuff. And sometimes even if you do know, like, what do you deal with this information? Like, I can sit here and I used to say this to myself. I can sit here and cry about it, but fuck, it ain't gonna change shit. So let me just keep it moving. Yeah. And I was excellent for that. That was my mantra in life. Oh, he stole what? He stole money from me? Fuck it. It ain't gonna change. Ain't gonna change stuff. Might as well keep it moving. Like the best. Then you start developing another mantra where it's like the best thing I can do is be better. Like fuck them and keep it moving and show them better. I could tell them that kind of stuff. No, stuff happened to you. It was bad. There's nothing wrong with you saying that shit. There's nothing wrong with you grieving it. And when you ignore those factors that affect you, it's like saying you don't care about you. And that's another layer on top of this generational curse. Because then you have children and you want to help your children. And the only way you know how to help your children is to punch them in the chest and say, get over it. That's it. Because somebody's going to do it. So I might as well show you how to deal with it.
And love you on the back end. My life mantra has always been like, life is about problems. Life is about problems. The sooner you figure out the problem, the quicker you can move on to get to the next problem. You will always have problems in your life. But the moment you figure out that problem, it fails to be the biggest problem in your life. Then you can move on to the next thing that is the biggest problem in your life and continue until you get to the point where nothing is a problem. And then nothing becomes a problem. If you figure out every problem you have at a certain moment, figure it out, move on, then I'm saying not that it's not a problem. I'm saying to you, like, okay, it's like, Mama, I'm talking to you now. We talking to you, right? I'm saying Bible. We talking Bible stuff, right? Just like they said, you don't ask God to make things better. You ask for strength. You ask him to make you stronger. What happens is that if you ask things to make you better, you're going to have other stuff. So you're going to keep on asking for make things better. But if you ask for strength to make you stronger, if you're stronger, things stop being so much of a problem. You can handle the problems.
I think there's a very stupid. He said, can you imagine 100 years from now, they'll be explaining how their grandparents eating Tide Pods was the beginning of their family generational curse.
Yeah. Now you got a whole bunch of people
stupid people.
Yeah, we used to get our mouth washed out with soap. Now they eating Tide Pods when they curse or something. Yeah,
was the devil.
Dr. Tishner.
Oh, it's the devil. I don't disagree. Like, I'm not trying to tell people. I'm not trying to get to a place where I'm telling people that being strong is a bad thing. I'm saying that being strong isn't the only thing. I'm saying, yay, celebrate the fact that you persevered and pushed through and figured out a way to get to the next step and the next step and next step. But you have to honor your steps. Because it still is something. Like, trauma is still trauma, even though you survived it, right? You still have to pay homage to what actually happened. It's almost like gaslighting yourself.
But my thing is, those people you talk about it defines them, right? If you understand that everybody, if you understand that, like, problems are not just for you. I mean, Everybody in life goes through problems.
No, but that still doesn't, and I get it.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that you can't sit there and say this is a fucking problem. This is sad. Just because, like, everybody goes through a divorce. Everybody. I've never heard of Dr.
I've never heard
Bonus.
of either. It might be a white thing. But
Is that our version of Dr. Tishner?
I don't know what it is. I love Dr. I've never heard of. What is that?
No, that's not it. I was about to say, is that the thing in the pepper?
Make you
the
look
soap,
like a rabbit human.
is it the
What is
soap
Dr.
in
Bonus?
the
What is that? I don't know what it is.
Is that the soap in the container? No, it's still soap. Never mind.
I don't know. Oh, it's a natural soap.
No, keep that.
No, okay.
No, I'm not gonna take a sip. No. Why would you do that?
Let me look this up real quick.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I need to understand what this is.
No, I've never heard of Dr. Bonner.
I don't think they have that in Louisiana.
You're about to shame us. Okay, no. Shauna.
No.
You're going to shame us for not knowing about Dr. Bonner. I wonder if we have heard it.
No, I don't think so. Hold
have y'all heard about Dr. Tishner? Oh, have I? Okay.
Have you heard of 666?
What's 666?
You ever heard of the 666 cough syrup?
No.
No, I've never seen this shit.
What in the devil's hell?
Oh yeah, this is the devil's hell.
That's Castells. I have had that. Sorry. I'm sorry. I have had that.
I know this.
Yeah. Okay. So
I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is.
All right. Let me see if I can show people who haven't seen it. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Oh, fuck it. Look it up. So
she said she's gonna bring you some.
No, I've had it. Okay, so let me tell you what happened. This is my story, and this is like this is I'm sharing with y'all. I don't need y'all throwing this in my face. All right. So soap is soap, right? So like soap is soap, and you know the smell I love more than anything else.
We know Ivory. We know Ivory soap.
You're gonna try us like that. You're the smell I love more than anything else. Like I drank peppermint tea. I love peppermint smell, right? I love it. It's very soothing to me. So I was like, I'm gonna get this thing. It's in this container, peppermint soap, and it says peppermint soap. Dope. Wash, 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 wash. What the look?
Peppermint is not good down in your neither regions. Nope.
And I never used the soap again. I never used it again. Why? Because I was in the corner trying to walk.
So then you put a nozzle down. You feel good. Oh, hold on.
No, it just hurt. Hold on. Okay, that shit it hurts. It hurts so bad. That's all I got.
I don't know nothing about that though. I'm
soap. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's the worst.
I've been underprivileged.
You coming for Thanksgiving?
What?
You coming to the house for Thanksgiving? We're going by Shauna's house for Thanksgiving.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't tell you?
No.
My bad. We're going by the Shauna.
See, Shauna? No, see, I don't.
We're having an organic Thanksgiving.
I don't get the information till the last minute.
You know why? It's not that. I was going to, like,
okay, opens your pore. Okay.
Open your pores. So the pores are
so it's all
stuff
natural.
is already open.
Open your pores.
You can't.
It feels like a Newport on your jelly bean.
Fuck it.
I don't know. I don't know nothing about
Stupid
that.
show.
I'll check it out though.
Fuck, we're talking about emotional goddamn. like so you have these situations where you're like, we learn to tough it through everything. To tough it through everything, or to play the victim through everything, because that's a generational curse too, right? They have some parents, and most of the time it's probably the mama. In this situation, I'm saying all mamas do this. I'm just saying in this situation,
a lot of mamas do this.
I didn't say that. I said in this situation, it's probably the mama where they play the apathetic person. Am I using the right term? Yeah, it's emotional blackmail, and they're like, "Oh, well, you know, what did I do?" And so it ends up.
You love me, you do this, or the emotional blackmail.
I've done all these things, but it's okay, and oh my God, as opposed to the more physical, the more understood form of emotional toxicity is the verbal aberration, and that happens with both parents as well. But I mean, the other one, you get more women where it's like more of emotional blackmail and more and you feel like you have to show up. I was talking about this I saw a show. I was watching Real Housewives of Potomac, and the daughter was trying to say to her mother that she never apologized for anything that
Mm,
she's done when she's
mhm,
made mistakes. And the mom just got mad and she's like, "How dare you say that? I've always apologized." And then she walked out.
mhm.
She was walking out, and then the daughter apologized to her for saying these things that hurt her feelings,
Mhm.
as opposed to saying, "Nah." Like
So
me,
you talk about it, yeah.
my energy is like this. Word, I just came to you with something. You're gonna make it about you. Bet go. But the fact that this daughter who doesn't disrespect you is coming to
Mm.
you and saying, "Hey, this is how you make me
Something real
feel,"
to them for them. Mm.
and you chose to use that moment to make it. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about when I'm talking about emotional blackmail.
I'm gonna
So
tell you
you're
what
not
ends
valid.
up happening when the mothers do this, right? They become me. So
They become you.
yeah, the kids become me.
Oh,
So the thing is, when you do emotional blackmail so much, it numbs the kid to real emotions.
for
It,
some people
no, I'm
just
just
do it.
saying, but if you do it extremely, if you do get it happens a lot, where you going to gauge the emotions? Think about it.
You got two options: fight or flight.
You're not going to be able to gauge healthy emotions if that
Mm-mm.
happens. It's like, okay, all right, you'll be all right.
Well, no, but and I argue that's the healthier approach,
Mhm.
even though it's not the
It's not healthy,
healthiest.
but yeah.
But it's the
Mhm.
better
Yeah, the
approach
better
than the
approach.
other
Yeah.
approach. The other approach is where they just ignore their needs
Yeah.
and they just continue to
To
be
do stuff for
like.
yeah.
I was watching that.
And
I was
feed
like, I
other
felt
people's
bad for
emotions rather
her.
than worry about your own.
Yes,
Yeah. Mhm.
because me, like if we redid that scene, it'd have been y'all would have been mad at me because I'd have been like, all right, mom, I'll see you later.
I'll see you when I see you.
Because I'm not gonna let you. I'm
Mhm.
trying to tell you something. You may not be ready to hear, but I'm not about to apologize for telling you something that I felt.
Mhm.
Nah, I'm gonna at least take care of my emotional needs. I'm
Mhm.
gonna at least validate my emotional security.
Mhm.
And here's the thing: me validating or protecting my emotional needs does not mean that it happened the way I thought it happened.
Yeah. Could be your own perception. Yeah.
But my
But
perception
just but
matters.
yeah, and just talk about it. Maybe you could talk about it and you could see, well, maybe I misread it or maybe my perception is a little bit skewed or something like that, and then go from it from there.
Yeah. Like she was a single parent.
Mhm.
She was a single parent. How many times did you think you weren't gonna make a mistake? As like
Yeah. Oh,
parents
you're
make
gonna make it all the
mistakes.
time. Yeah, all the time. But it
So the fact that you can't even
acknowledges, yeah.
acknowledge
Mhm.
this when it's understood, I can understand that you did the best you can, and the best you can had some flaws in it.
Mhm.
But to not hear the voice of your child is re-victimizing it all over
Mhm.
again and making it worse.
Mhm.
Oh, thanks, Ray. Good luck on your homework. Um,
Yeah.
so that's your emotional component. So how do you work on your emotional section of yourself?
Mhm.
Right? That was a harder one because you have automatics, right? We're on autopilot most of the time.
Yeah, most time you're on autopilot. Mhm.
So I think the easiest advice I would give, and you tell me what you felt, is what I would do and what I do. What I do. What I do is I have a situation that happens, and then I switch the situation to be one of my nieces or nephews.
Mhm.
And then if my answer changes, then I need to start being a
Then
little
yeah.
more caring with myself.
Mhm.
Right. So yeah, that's it. Like I was telling Willie before we started this podcast. From last podcast, I was asking his advice about giving this guy a chance. And it turns out that I didn't end up giving him a chance. I ended up blocking him, which is a chance. Um,
Mhm.
because the stuff he was saying, it was like he was saying that when he met me, that he wanted to kiss me. And I was like, oh, she doesn't do that. I don't do that.
Oh.
And he was like, well, what's the big deal? It's just a kiss. And I'm sitting here like, and so now I'm to the point, I'm good at this. So as soon as I'm saying what I feel, I instantly switch it with my oldest niece who's
Mm,
about to graduate.
mm,
And I say, this is Ayana. He's talking to. And then now here are the responses.
mm.
What's the big deal? I mean, why? You act like you ain't never kissed nobody. Shoot, I'm not asking you to have sex with me,
Because
man.
I said no. Hmm.
And I went to fight him
Mm.
because nah, it's Ayana.
Now you are yon in your head.
Like now I take hold while fighting and be like, whatever. And so I'm like, look, I said, how would you feel? I'm like, and he says, what did he say to me? I said, well, independent of what you say, I said, I'm glad you asked me. The answer is no. We're good. And then he goes, man, your lips are so sexy, man. I'm gonna have to get a kiss. You're gonna have to give me a kiss. I'm like, and now Ayana has been told
Then we just
twice.
had this conversation. Mm,
This is the third
mm,
time that I'm watching this snare in my head where my niece has been told 3 times about this. And like for the guys out there, anybody who's listening, actually anybody who's listening, this is like something that you have to understand. Women have been historically uh pushed into, this is why Me Too is like Me Too has been bastardized,
Mm-hmm.
but this is the validity behind Me Too, because there's been moments like
The
these
thought
things.
process behind it. Yeah, not the. Yeah.
Like, so what happens if I were to go on that date where I clearly stated my boundaries, clearly said no, I'm gonna be sitting here fighting him because he's gonna keep trying
Because
to
he's gonna
touch
keep
me.
on doing it. Yeah.
He's gonna try to touch me. He's gonna try to do something, whatever the case may be. And if I ain't the boss bitch that I am, because I is, I'd let him do it. There are people who just let him do it because it's just like, all right, well, maybe something's wrong with me, because why am I, I'm telling you no. Right? Yep. Boom. Shauna. Boom. That's
Yeah.
that
The
is.
start. Yes. Yeah.
That is it.
That's the precursor to rape.
Mm-hmm. And here's the other part. Did he know that was the case?
Probably didn't. Probably
Nope.
didn't. Yeah.
He just thought
Oh
that he
damn.
was trying to
Oh
give me a
damn.
compliment.
Yeah. He thought giving. See, and this is the thing, right? With guys, it's like it becomes a situation where it's cause and effect. Hey, if I do this, compliment a woman, this, that, the other, the end result is going to be this. So if I do this, men believe that if they say certain things, it's going to give them a good outcome.
Yeah.
So it depends on how the way the person is taught. You just feel that that's what happens. And also experiences in life teach you certain things, but you don't understand everybody's an individual. So what might work for one person might not work for another person. And I don't know if dude would have been rapey or whatever, but like that. But still, it seems rape like.
I mean, it's the start of it
Yeah.
though. Because it's like, and in my mind, because I'm like, I could easily, I got him. I'll sit there and tell him about himself or whatever. But what I want my niece, my daughter, or anybody to go through that, no. Like, and then if the situation was reversed, and like, I'm not trying, I'm just stereotyping right now. If you had an ugly chick trying to holler at you and get on you and whatever the case may be, it's the same thing. Because I've seen that happen. A dude told me a story where he had sex with this chick. I said, but you said she was ugly. You wouldn't have tried. He's like, you should get pulling on me, grab on my stuff.
She kept pushing.
I'm like, that was not okay. That right there is rape. You were like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good. And like, what are you, gay? No.
She
like
coerced him to activity.
No, it's not. She bullied him.
Yeah, she bullied him.
Because she tried to say he was gay. She tried to say all this stuff. So now he's afraid that she's gonna think he's gay.
You, girl. I'm gonna show you.
That's called rape. And that's not okay. And so it's these kind of conversations that we don't think about. And then I asked him this question. I said, hey, let me ask you a question. I said, if your daughter was having this conversation with somebody and she's telling them no, they can't physically touch her, and they're saying yes, and they're saying they're going to do it anyway, how would you feel? He's like, well, I would be honored that somebody wants to kiss my daughter. I'm like, what? Block.
Yeah. He has no moral compass. And I do that too. Like you were saying, that's what I call is channeling, or either playing devil's advocate or channeling someone else. And usually what I would do, I would channel the other person that's doing that, and I figure out how would they like to be treated in that situation, or what has happened when they do it. And then like, okay, if it's okay for you, then
Yeah. Well, that's the empathy component. Well, empathy on some levels, but that's actually a good thing when you're talking to somebody you care about, is to figure out what would happen if the situations were reversed.
What is their base?
But although I still think that's slightly problematic, because your tolerance and their tolerance are two different things. Y'all are two different people. So you shouldn't give of yourself if you don't want to give of yourself. If that's going to cost you more than you're willing to pay, the answer is no, independent of what they're willing to pay for it.
True.
That's it. They talk about the 4 love languages and all that other bullshit. But one of the things, and I bring this up to say, is
5 love languages.
Or whatever. 5 love languages. You can see. I took the test, by the way. I clearly hate gifts, and I clearly hate. I don't mind gifts, but I hate, like, as in regards to, by comparison to acts of service, like affirmations and that kind of stuff. The other ones were last. Physical touching gifts, they were tied for last. But these
don't
things,
touch me and don't give me shit. Leave me alone.
Well, if I don't know you.
Oh, okay.
And that's how I saw it, like in regards to acknowledging people, like, oh, what's more important? Actually, the litmus test was which was most important. So for me, it's like, if you see me in the thick of it, if you want to show you care about me, get in the thick of it with me. And that's not to say you got to do that. But that's. But
it's something you'll notice. It's something that'll stand out to you, and it'll mean so much more to you.
Yes, but if it's more than the price you're willing to pay,
that doesn't negate anything about you, how you feel about a person or whatever. And
No.
that's my issue with that whole love language shit, right?
Mhm.
It what it does, it take people tend to look internal, instead of looking at the whole situation and look at what this person has going on
Mhm.
and what they're, because the thing is, this person might can't do none of that stuff, but might love you just more than anybody else that could do this stuff. What's that? What's the thing? The gray dude from what's the movie? The Gray, Mr. Gray. Dun, 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 Shackles and the BDSM, whatever, the
Oh, 50 Shades of
50
Grey.
Shades of Grey, that shit.
I was about to say, what the
So
hell?
just like that, right?
What's
So
the
if it was, I was trying
Is
to
that
think of
the
the song.
BDMS?
I was trying to think of a
DSM?
song. You know the song they play with
What the fuck?
I was trying to do
I
something.
don't know the
Anyway, so the same thing like that, right?
Mhm.
The reason why women was okay with that, right? Because dude had
Because he looked
money.
amazing.
Dude
He
had
But
money.
he also looked good.
Yeah, okay, that. But they have dudes that are poor that look good. And that shit wouldn't have flew.
But it would
Dude
be more
had money.
likely if then he was rich and had money.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
if he had money, he was ugly. If he like, I'm
Yeah,
not
yeah,
saying
yeah,
like there are hierarchies
But
to
there's
this.
hierarchies.
But the
I'm
fact
saying,
that he was good looking and he had money, I'm into it.
yeah, but the thing was, the key component was money. He could fly her anywhere.
Mhm.
He could do anything on it.
What I
That's the
gotta
whole
say,
thing.
ow,
Yeah.
ow,
Oh, I take is that.
ow.
That's what I'm saying.
We going to Dubai?
Ooh. Oh Jesus! I've heard what happened in Dubai with these Instagram models. Have you heard that?
Mhm.
Okay.
Different story for a different day.
different story for a different day.
Mhm.
We have to come back to that because that's some other level shit. But my point is that we can't say that this person loves me more because he's spending, because my thing is gifts. He spent all his money on me. He got an enormous amount of money. He can do that versus a person that don't have that much money, but he can love you way more than that person. So this is the problem with that whole.
Well, but the problem with that is she doesn't need to be with him. Because if gifts are the only thing that matters to her, but so the other part of it, and I've honestly, full disclosure, I've never read that shit because I'm like,
oh, you haven't read it?
Who cares?
Okay.
That's how I feel.
I've read it,
but I haven't read it. Full disclosure. However, if I were to act like I gave a shit and read it, I would say to people, here's the thing. There's a thing you need. There's a thing your partner needs. There's the things you're willing to do and the things they're willing to do. So these love languages, all day long, if you're acts of service person and that other person does not do acts of service, y'all don't belong together. Like if you're not willing to give acts of service up, yes, because that person's gonna always feel like they're never gonna get what they need from their partner. That's it. They're never, if they feel like, because the whole point of this love language book, and I read the synopsis. The whole point of this love language book is supposed to be like, hey, for you to understand how I receive love, not give it, receive it.
Okay.
So if I'm telling you how I receive it is through acts of service or gift giving, and you never provide those things, then I never feel loved. That's supposed to be the theory.
So
that's why I think
it's a theory, and it's bullshit. I say it's all theory. The other thing is, so just like you say that, right? The other thing is that you cannot tell me that somebody says, okay, this is how I receive love, and if this person gives, if I'm willing to give you how you receive love, and then something else is missing on the back end, like one of the other four things is just totally void. You void one of the other four things. You're gonna, as human beings, we tend to focus on the stuff we're not getting.
Yes.
And that becomes the thing that makes you not be able to go on and continue this relationship. That's why that's bullshit to me.
I think it's a balance, though.
Well, it is a balance, but they don't talk about the balance. They talk about this is love languages.
Yeah, and that's why I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, it's
bullshit.
But
I think, but the part of the love language book that I don't think is bullshit is pointing out you trying to make sure you cover your bits with your little poncho. You was gonna just show you about to sit.
Show my. No, I ain't free balling.
The thing I don't think was bullshit about the book is identifying the deficit within you. I don't think that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And having your partner, if your partner is not willing to give you your deficit, you're in a deficit. And if you can't furnish that, like, good, bad, or different, I think everything has a shelf life. I mean, look, fuck it.
But it makes it seem like things are static, right? And that's my issue with it too. Like, being gifts of service, or gifts and acts of service or whatever, it's not static. It's like, okay, this is my love, and people tell you here to say my love is such. If he can't do such, or she can't do such, then they're not the right person, and that's some static shit because
it's ignorant.
It's
and
lower
you don't
level.
Deserve to be with somebody if you can't.
It's lower level. It's lower level thinking to me.
That's lowly thinking. That's lonely thinking. People who've been in marriages and who've been in long-term marriages understand
It's
that.
fluid. Things. It's like a what you call a what is it?
Hyperbolic? Or are you
Yeah.
talking about
No,
like the
no,
sine
no.
wave?
The sine wave. Sine wave.
Yeah.
Yeah, there.
It
The
was
sine wave. My bad. Sine wave. Yeah, it's like a sine wave. Shit goes up and it goes down depending on your partner. You know, you
Mhm.
have to be able to adapt and come. You have to be able to adapt with situations. Your partner has to be able to adapt with situations. When you're having shitty times, your partner should be able to lift you up. When your partner's having shitty times, you're supposed to be able to lift them up. It's
And you're supposed to understand that
you're
some
supposed
days
to
they
understand.
shoulders
Yeah,
ain't that strong.
and they
And
ain't
some
at their
days they
best all
might
the
be
time.
able to do it. And you still got to understand what y'all are in it for.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I'm like, I don't agree. However, it is not a bad idea if you're trying to figure out how to keep things fresh within your relationship, is to identify areas for improvement.
Mm-hmm.
And some of those areas for improvement are, what can I do for you to feel special? And that part holds validity.
Mm-hmm.
What am I willing to do for you to feel special? What do I need? What do I need from you? That's the part that holds validity. The rest of it, I mean, like, I'm not about to base my whole life on just this thing. And it is what it is. But to understand, for me, acts of service is something I need in relationships, right? Somebody who can get in it with me or whatever, in any relationships, not just my romantic
Yeah,
one, in any relationship.
friendships and stuff.
Because
Yeah.
when it comes down to it, I'm going to get in the thick of it with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to make sure I show up for you. So the same thing matters to me. Doesn't mean that I don't like a gift. Doesn't mean that I don't like a hug. But you can't hug me while
What about it?
while I'm bleeding
What
with a
about a kiss?
bullet wound.
You know, what about a kiss? You know,
Shut up.
you
And
don't,
he
you
just kept
don't.
saying it. It sounds so skeevy. He was like, "Man, you want to kiss the lips, man. You don't think that's a compliment? You got good
Licking
lips."
his
I said,
lips,
"I've been having sexy lips.
licking
I
his
don't
lips.
need you to tell me this." Okay, or threaten me. Okay, okay. Also,
I could just kiss them lips, girl.
oh, so let me say this to y'all. All right, because I ain't shit, and I've been very clear about that for the almost 2 years we've been doing this.
Mm-hmm.
It's been almost 2 years, right?
Yeah, going on.
Oh, look
Going
at
on two
that.
years. Going on 2 years.
Almost 2 years that we've been doing this. I've been very clear about my ain't shitness, right? So I'm gonna be ain't shit real with you. People, if you're gonna threaten people with kissing and whatever like that, like
Let it happen. Don't just
I don't know what your breath
yeah,
is like.
yeah.
His teeth was spaced a little further
Oh,
apart.
Jesus.
I'm just saying,
This should have
like,
been good because gingivitis just fall out. It don't just stick.
oh no, oh no. You know, he did say that. He said I don't floss every day. Now I know why. Oh, he ain't
Teeth just
shit.
let it go.
Oh shit.
Like the thing that grabbed the toys and the thing.
No, grab. Oh no. What are we talking about? Generational curse. How did we get here?
That's generation curse.
The point is us saying, don't listen to that part. We're wrong. We're clearly wrong. We're clearly wrong for this part. But the point is, if you're trying to figure out emotional needs and emotional things, normally the best way to do that is to replace yourself with the other person. Even if you're trying to figure out your other emotional needs of your other people, is to switch and place yourself in that position. Right? Do a switch. Just do a role reversal in both cases, any cases, and see what matters. If they matter to you, right? Or you matter to yourself. So
to
do the
yourself,
same
yeah.
reversal. Pick the person who matters to you, who matters high to you, and treat yourself as how you would treat the best person that you would take. Like, to me, kids matter more than adults. So I want to, like, so I switch them with kids, and like I want to treat myself better than I treat everybody else. So I go the highest part. So same thing, right? So that's how I think. I'm sure there are more generational curses, but we've been playing around. It's almost 2 hours. So I think we're good on these. And it is a discussion that I would like to have. Maybe it'll come up again in another circumstance or situation. Um, I remember. So here's a story. It's not a happy story. Happy-ish. No, it's not a happy story. I ain't gonna gas like y'all. There's a story, and I don't know if I told you this. I sent this to you. It was a a child, 8-year-old child was dead body was in a house
Mm.
with his siblings for a year,
Yeah, I
covered
saw
up
it.
with a
Yeah,
blanket,
yeah.
while their biological mom and her boyfriend was living 2 blocks down the street, living the life while these kids didn't have anything to eat. There was
They had to fend for themselves.
they
Yeah.
well, the oldest brother was like 16, 17.
Mm.
Now they killed, well, the
The
boyfriend
boyfriend.
killed the
Mm.
brother, but
Mm.
the mom was a part of it, right? And she stayed with him the whole night. The oldest brother was the one finding food for his siblings so they could eat and whatever, and they were maga. They were very, very skinny.
Mm.
And one thing that happened, I read at the end because I'm sitting here pissed. I'm livid. When it comes to kids, I'm
Mm.
fucking livid. You little raggedy bitch. That's it.
Mm.
Like look, you raggedy. Look, I don't care what your mama did to you. Maybe I don't give a shit. You raggedy bitch. What you did to your children was inexcusable.
Mm.
And this man is trash to me, but he's not the mother.
He's not the biggest problem. You as a mother, you're supposed to have this innate like thing that I'm going to protect my kids and make sure they don't go through anything. Um, the killing of the kid was one thing, but this boy a whole year had to not only provide for his siblings, but had to hide the fact his brother was in that house, covered, dead, stinking, and all that
They had
shit.
no electricity in the house. They
Nothing.
was just living in an apartment.
Mm.
The one thing I say, this is why I say it was kind of a good story in regards to emotional needs. I say kinda.
What?
No, a kinda happy ending.
Okay,
Kind of
okay,
happy ending.
okay.
Sorry,
All right.
kind of happy ending. And I say kinda because this is like the bottom of the fucking barrel.
Mm, yeah.
Happy ending part of it is the fact that the brother who's 17 is like, I can't do this
Mm.
anymore. He chose
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
and he called
Over
the
his,
police.
yeah, he called the police over the foolishness that was going on.
That's
Yeah.
and that's why I said it's not happy, but I mean, I know he felt shitty. He probably felt like a horrible person, but in that moment, he chose him, and that's like he saved their lives.
Yeah, he would, and that's what I said too, Heidi. He would have to he have to go through serious therapy because just the whole like mentally,
I couldn't even.
you're in a place where you have to care for your younger siblings. You know you're not feet away. Your one of your siblings that you loved is dead, and nobody gives a shit. The
Mhm.
people that's supposed to love
Well,
you and
you
supposed to
can't give a
protect you.
shit.
No, I'm just saying the people that's
Oh,
supposed to love and protect you don't give a shit. So you have to bury all that shit inside and go day to day, to do whatever you have to do in order to make sure your younger siblings are able to exist, to able to keep going,
and the guilt that they feel keeping that, the
keeping
whole
a
thing
secret.
when you have siblings and you're going through trauma with your siblings, it builds a bond that you
Mhm.
can't explain, right? It's a blind like my dad and my aunt, uh their bond is like tight as hell. Like they just like once you go through stuff with
Mhm.
that, so like just to know that they had to be around and they had to like this person, like the savagery of
Mhm.
it, that they had to learn how not to give a shit so they
Mhm.
can survive.
So you can feel. Mhm.
The rest of them survive. Like the things that people go through. Like I said, empathy is necessary, but also you have to be in a space where you have to let go.
Mhm.
I mean, if you are swimming, like the other when they talk about the drowning analogy,
Mhm.
if you're swimming and you're trying to get to shore and you got like depending on your circumstances, you got miles to go. Be it miles to go because you got to lose 100 pounds, and you got your spouse who's just as unhealthy as you are, but not doing nothing about it, trying to hold you back. Or if you're trying to get out of poverty, you got miles to go, but you got people, your family talking about, can I hold? You're going to have to let go of the dead weight so you can try to make it. Because, I mean, here's the truth there's a likelihood that you won't make it.
Mhm.
So you need all your energy and all your strength and all your focus to be on you, be it whatever title, whatever it is. And then here's the thing: what about the next generation, your offspring? You need to get to a place where you are on firm ground so you can be able to have them walk. You don't want them born in the ocean with you. Now you swimming with them, and then maybe you're the dead weight to them, or maybe they're
Mhm.
the dead weight to you. But the same thing. Like this young lady, I can empathize with her. I choose not to because fuck her. She sat there and watched that child. Like you became a parent. When you became a parent, you became a person and a parent at the same time. And you was a shitty person for doing that to your kids and allowing them to suffer in this way while you did what you did. So I have no empathy for that. but I can't empathize with her situation. She probably grew up in a situation where she was never anybody's choice, and her parents did the same thing to her and didn't choose her. All of this stuff has an effect. You ain't spending time with your kid. You sitting here not being physically in your child's life. Has an impact, and it shows what matters to them. So,
You know what? I started to. This show was gonna be something different because I was gonna call it Audible and do the monsters we become, and it was gonna be part of that story. And
oh,
it was another story that I didn't send you because it had me.
it was worse.
It was worse.
Shit.
It was worse. But I was like, nah, I won't do something light. I won't do nothing this fucking heavy. It was worse, and it wasn't really. It was something from 2014. I could tell you this. I'll give you a brief synopsis of it. The mother killed her two children, and because the two children raped her youngest child, raped and did all kind of horrific things to the youngest child because they were well, the daughter I think was jealous of the youngest baby because he was always the cute one and all this other stuff.
Hmm.
So the mother lost her mind, kind of whatever, when she heard the child told him what they were doing to him, and she did exactly that to them and killed one of the kids on accident. It happened
I saw
2014.
that
They're
story.
doing a trial right now.
Yeah, I
That's
saw
that's
that
where it
story.
came up.
Mhm.
The oldest child became a cycle breaker way too. Yeah, and
Yeah,
that's what it is. He did that, but we don't have any choice to when we learn these lessons. That's it's bad. He had to go through all that shit, but I
and it's
think he's
gonna be
gonna
a,
be.
a
Yeah.
far swim back to. It's gonna be without help.
Mm,
It's gonna be hard for him. It's gonna
yeah.
be hard.
Yeah. He's gonna need a lot of. He's gonna need a stronger support system than most because of that. But yeah,
To say
I
the
didn't
least.
want to go into that.
And
Because
I mean,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I think it is important
yeah.
to know, like, and also understand that maybe he doesn't see it and he won't see it, but that moment that he did, where he chose himself and he
Mm,
chose to help his kids over his parent,
mhm.
that's a pivotal moment in his
Well, he
life.
chose himself and he chose his siblings because now they can get help. It might not look like they might be in the system, but that's way better than you having a dead body right there. You got to fend for food. At least
We don't
somebody can
know
take
what's
care of you.
better or worse because the
Well,
system
well,
is very much so the system. We don't know if it's better or
uh,
worse, but he's trying to get out.
smelling dead body every day.
I'm just saying, I've heard stories.
Oh,
That friend of mine, I
yeah,
heard stories.
mm,
I heard stories. And I'm not saying one's better or one's worse. I'm just
mm,
saying he at least is trying to
yeah. He's
survive.
trying to survive.
And at least he chose himself. That's why I don't know. I can't say it. I won't even act like it. So uh uh I wish y'all a very, very happy Halloween. And do a quick look at yourself. Not in a harmful way, but just a little quick check in and see the things, see what can hold you back. We're getting older, but that doesn't mean that we still can't learn from where we came from and who we were and who we're going to be, because there's always tomorrow. So, um, I ain't had no candy.
Okay, I need you talking about all these vegetables and shit. I'm looking at you like, damn it, this supposed to be about candy. You talking about vegetables and all this other stuff. What about the damn candy?
Yeah. Mm.
I
Well,
don't hear
I
about no
mean,
damn
well, if
vegetables
you
on
have teeth
Halloween.
spaced
Hmm.
apart, like,
Gingivitis don't hold.
oh, that's hilarious. Oh my God. That ain't shit. Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, we're wishing y'all a happy, safe Halloween. And let me know what y'all think about that. Like, what do y'all think about what I'm saying? Am I just gassing y'all up and just setting y'all up? Don't want nobody want no goddamn vegetable. Anybody trying to eat no goddamn carrot? So, let me know. Let me know what y'all think.
Get
Let's
your eyes
discuss.
right. Yeah, it's good for you. All this shit
Mm-hmm.
is good for you.
Mm-hmm. Visit us on YouTube. Like this.
Like, subscribe, go to YouTube, ADHD
Share.
Hour, and share it. Yeah, ADHD
Yeah.
Hour podcast on YouTube.
Ever since I got back from this hiatus that we did, we've been doing a lot more serious content. We've still
mm,
been with the shits, but we're
mm,
doing a lot more serious content.
mm,
Last week we did one on um, generational wealth, talking about life insurance, a version of life insurance that I think is a great idea. Take a look at that one. That's a long video, but still take a look at it. I think it's a good idea. Share this one. Talk about this. I think it's a good idea. If you get a chance, look at Troy's TV. He has a very good video on that. He also has a bunch of other good videos. So I'm done talking.
mm. Me too. Ooga booga, bitches.